I want to play in Europe. What the hell does that mean, right? Because Europe could be Latvia, Luxembourg.
No one's talking about Latvia or Luxembourg, dumbass.
But you don't want to just shove it in there. Start with a smaller finger, especially if this is the first time. Start with a smaller finger and go slow.
I mean, there's a lot of things that need to change.
Honey, eating it is the best thing that you can do for your man.
I want people to realize I'm just human. I'm just human, and I make mistakes.
So this guy, Derek, wants to know, is putting your tongue in an ass really the thing to do?
Yeah, it feels really good.
It's a weird one, I think.
And I know you want me to toss your salad too, don't you? All right, on that note.
What are you saying, bro?
You are.
Stop, bro! Stop, bro, help me, I'm stuck!
All right, welcome to Straight Red Card. Oh, so much to cover tonight for what you would think would be, well, we even got Yanks Abroad, right? I mean, we didn't even talk about that in the pre-show, but lots of great stuff happening on, well, some of it great stuff, Tuesday and Wednesday. Not much going on today on Thursday, but that's all right. I mean, Tuesday and Wednesday seemed like Saturday and Sunday this week. Mm-hmm. So many games to watch. So excellent stuff there. And we are here as the Center for the Reduction of Stupidity in Soccer Coverage. There are things we're going to have to clarify tonight as we move forward. We already got Puto pumping in. What's up, guys? Listening from Fort Wayne, Indiana tonight. Always love the locals. Thank you, Kevin.
Nope. Hold on, just for a little bit of banter back and forth.
Muncie
is better than Fort Wayne. Just kidding. It's boring here. Boring AF here.
Hey, and we're all going to have to endure this extremely cold weather coming. We're going to be in the minuses coming up next week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Below zero.
All that means, Derek, is my extended freezer is still going to remain an extended freezer. My extended freezer being my garage.
Well, you could just throw those turkeys out on the road tomorrow.
No, that's the thing. I mean, I ran out of freezer space, and I had got two new turkeys. I'm like, well, instead of throwing them in the fridge and forcing myself to cook these fuckers, I'm just going to stick them in the garage.
Yeah,
and they've sat there,
frozen.
I've checked on them, making sure they're still frozen as hell.
I bet they are. All right, PT69 Giggity for $5. What gets Derek more flaccid, cupcake or the Europa Conference?
The Europa Conference.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. The ECL. Yeah,
because there could be something Derek could glean from Camp Cupcake. He'd be like, hey, you know that Diego Luna should get a call up on one of our next upcoming windows because he looked good there.
Yeah, I'm certainly flaccid during Camp Cupcake, but I am definitely suffering shrinkage during the Europa Conference League. And I think it was funny when Kinky Jeff, was it? What's it? Spicy Jeff.
I haven't seen Spicy Jeff in a while.
You don't like the European Conference League? You're an idiot. Well.
Did you scare Spicy Jeff off?
This is months ago. This is like a year ago. I was on, was it either Pete or Tax Show?
I would imagine if Spicy Jeff was there, it had to be Tax.
Probably Tax Show. And he didn't like my comment being critical of the third division of European Championship Soccer, which is what it is. Let's be really honest. That's what it is. You couldn't name, and no one can name, the last handful of winners in the ECL. No one can. All right. I'll let you read that.
Okay, says, Derek, we need to talk. What was Bernd Leno?
Yep, the goalkeeper for Fulham.
Fair enough. Doing for Fulham's conceded goals against West Ham.
You know, that's really hard to say, my friend. It was pretty tragic, especially since it was a game I thought we should have won. And a game, yes. Jedi got two.
You got 2 assists, right?
Yeah, they were
gifts. No, they're assists. Take it.
Well, let's just say he passed the ball off to somebody who then tried to pass, but both times that he tried to pass it, the ball went in the goal. So you're going to get credit for an assist.
Oh, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, that's similar to, remember the overhead kick behind backwards, like at the halfway line? He just booted it backwards over his head.
Yeah.
And it went like 20, 30 yards down and then bounce, and he got registered an assist. Yeah, it wasn't done on purpose, but he definitely got the assist for that.
Is that a Jimenez goal? I can't remember who scored.
I think so, yeah, but I couldn't tell you who they played.
All right, we have 69 of you here already. Giggity. Yeah, lots to cover. So I guess we'll just get the show on the road. I had something in my head I was going to talk about, but it's totally lost. It's gone.
Well, I'll jump into my fluff.
Okay.
And then it'll come back to you at some point here. I imagine.
You think? I don't know.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Okay. This one was provided to us by Chris Gary, and it sparked a little bit of a conversation between some folk.
Okay.
One of these comedians in all of their movies have to go. Who you picking?
Rogan. Seth
Rogen?
Yeah.
So not Adam Sandler, not Will Ferrell, nor Jim Carrey.
I mean, it's tight between Seth and Carrey, but I'm probably going to go with Seth Rogen.
So, yeah. So I went with Seth. I mean, obviously, Chris went with Seth, too. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I like Superbad, like Pineapple Express, like 40-Year-Old Virgin. Although that's not his movie, but he was a part of it.
Yeah, he's not a gigantic part of that movie.
Carrey and Sandler are nostalgic for me. I mean, I grew up with their movies.
I mean, Sandler had some bad movies, but
don't get me wrong. Yeah, so did Carrey. So did Ferrell.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I'm nostalgic for those two, Carrey and Adam, because I grew up with them. I grew up with those movies. So I'm always going to have a soft spot there. I'm a big fan of Will Ferrell. I like his stuff regardless. And even his bad movies, I'm like Kicking and Screaming. I'm like,
yeah,
whatever. But he has a couple Will Ferrell moments in there. But yeah, Seth Rogen, I like some of his stuff. But I mean, he's just done some really dumb stuff lately.
Yeah, this is pretty easy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Boomar saying Old School's a classic, 100%.
Yep.
Let's see here. Sandler in his prime was great.
Yeah. SNL too. Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Let's see here. Zara is not a fan of Ferrell. Neither is Wine. Okay. Both of them say they can go. I mean, Ricky Bobby. I mean, God, some of the stuff he does. I mean, it's all the same character. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
It's Will Ferrell being Will Ferrell. Minus
Talladega Nights. Yeah.
But I don't know. I was a big fan of him on SNL, and I liked him. I enjoy his movies. I like his character, quite frankly.
I think some of the criticism might be political as well.
Again, he said some dumb stuff, but I'm solely basing mine off their what I would sit down and rewatch again, if you will.
Yeah, I'm not rewatching any of it.
Any other movies?
I'm not like you. I can't. I watch a movie.
That's fair. You don't rewatch anything. You're right.
Except for Waterloo. I've watched that like 15 times.
Nerd. You nerd.
I am. I'm a big history nerd.
Over Christmas, I watched Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
It's all right.
Oddly enough, not Christmas related, but we also saw Ace Ventura because my mother-in-law loves Ace Ventura.
There are parts of that are really good. Do not go in there.
Woo!
And there's some great scenes in that movie for sure. I like Liar Liar, right? That one I enjoyed. Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, let's see here. I went. Let's see. I said that everything. Notorious said Jim Carrey movies. His movies are trash. And I go, I guess it depends. A lot of his early '90s and 2000s are nostalgia for me. Wasn't a fan of Truman Show, which is kind of controversial because people like the Truman Show.
I think the Truman Show is pretty good. Also, his other one, which was a serious movie,
Sunshine.
Yes,
that was a good movie.
That was a really good movie. No, not a comedy movie at all.
Yeah. No, so that was my issue with Truman Show because before the Truman Show, it was Mask, Ace Ventura,
Liar Liar,
2, Liar Liar, and then all of a sudden the Truman Show comes. I'm like, oh, it's okay, cool. I'll go see this, and I watch it. I'm sitting there going like, this isn't an Ace Ventura movie. What the hell is this? I was younger at the time, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I can look at the movie now with non-biased eyes and say, yeah, it's not a bad flick.
For me, Sunshine's the best movie he ever did.
And that's fair. It's probably the most artsy one too. So
well, yeah, and I'm an artsy kind of guy.
That's fair.
So there you go. All right.
Lionel K says Grown Ups 1 and 2 are fire. I'll agree with Grown Ups 1 is good. I actually enjoy Grown Ups 1. I think Grown Ups 2 is kind of like a jumping the shark moment for a Grown Ups movie, which is weird that there's only 2 of them. How can you have a jumping the shark in a 2-series movie or 2-movie series?
Not sure. Oh, by the way, the TikTok ban goes into effect on Sunday. I'm pretty sure on the 20th all that will end because I guess I'm hearing there's some executive order that Trump's going to do that will end the TikTok ban. But yeah, we'll see how that works out. I just know in my school, the kids are freaking out. They're freaking out that on Sunday, TikTok is over. They are all, holy crap.
Just inform them that they can always go back to watching Vines. And they're going to be like, what the hell is Vines? And you're going to be like, exactly. You'll get over it. Some other company will have something coming out. YouTube has shorts.
You got Facebook. Those kids don't even know what Facebook is.
That's the same mentality, though. That's the same mentality, though. Because I mean, when we were getting older as adults and stuff like that, Facebook came out, and we're just like, oh, this is the social media. How could anybody compete with Facebook? And all of a sudden, Twitter comes out. Like, well, how could anything compete with Twitter? Right now, nothing really has. But Instagram, I guess, is. But
Brian DeMarco says Vines doesn't exist anymore. Man,
I know it doesn't exist.
Man,
that's the joke. That's the joke, right?
All right. I still miss MySpace.
MySpace is still there. You can actually go back. It's music. Is it? It's 100% music now at this point. They got rid of the Facebook feel of it.
I think some of my music's still up there then.
Probably
I don't think they took it down. All right, for the 112 of you here already, just 12 minutes in the show, we want to thank you. That's about one person joining the show a minute. That's a good thing. We'd like to see that continue. All right, what else we got? Right, a minute. Wait, that's not right.
That's not right, Derek. I didn't want to correct you on that.
Way over that. It's way over that.
It's like 10 people per minute. How about that?
What a dumb. I can't do math. All right. What an idiot. All right. Now let's go. Let's move on.
Before we move on, did your fluff come back to your mind?
No.
Okay.
It'll just hit me. It'll just hit me at some point. Yeah.
We have the release of the
in music class.
Okay.
I covered the most perverse songs of all time today in music class. And that's Ringo Starr's You're 16, You're Beautiful, and You're Mine, all mine. And the kids were just laughing their asses off as we listened to these songs with the lyrics up.
Yeah.
You're all
peaches. Tell them the age of consent is different in the UK?
No, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's still 18. In the songs like You're all peaches and cream. Oh, what a dream. Lips like strawberry wine. You're 16. You're beautiful and you're mine. Oh, mine, oh, mine. Okay, Ringo. Time to stop, my friend. And then what's the one winger? She's only 17. 17. Okay, listen, dude. You're kind of gross. All right, that's you're like 28 singing this song.
So Broken Furnace says he wrote that one in a third world country where 16 was legal.
That doesn't make it better.
So I was actually you're like, no, it's still 18. And I went over and I started typing in age of consent in the UK before I hit enter. I go, I don't want that in my Google.
Yeah, you don't want that. I mean, you don't live there, so it's not a big deal. But yeah. And the other one,
I don't want that there at all. Not at all.
And then the other one was the Foreigner song, right? We've covered here. I'm hot-blooded. And then he asked her, are you even old enough? Are you old enough? Yeah, dude, if you got to ask that. And then he says later in the song, we got to get rid of you-know-who. And we were thinking that might be her dad. She came to the show with her dad to watch Foreigner. Yeah. Anyhow, some creepy songs. Listen, they're kind of creepy in the sense that, like, you couldn't go to your workplace and start talking about 16-year-old girls. Like, you can't do that, right? So why are these dudes singing about underage girls?
There's definitely certain occupations you really don't want to go there and say that to.
Oh, for sure. You work at the police department. Yeah,
or,
you don't want to go.
Or school district.
So to me, there were other songs that were douchey in other ways that we pointed out, but I think the category was the top 3 most like douchey songs, right? I mean, we didn't say that, but that's kind of what the categories came down to. All right, enough of that. Sorry, that was my thought from music class this week. Because that was Tuesday. We went over those.
Wait, you covered music class?
Yeah, I'm now the music teacher.
Wait.
Yes.
I thought you had a guy who listened to our show that was your music teacher.
He left. And now I am also the music teacher during SRT.
He felt incredibly awkward around you because he listened to our show, right?
No, he loved the show. And he sent me some pretty weird photos over Christmas and Thanksgiving. Honestly, this guy's a real character. But anyhow, yeah, he's gone.
Well, keep listening to our show. We appreciate your view.
Brent, keep listening to the show if you're out there.
Oh, that's way too close to my name.
I know it is. But great guy, drives like a complete fucking maniac. I thought I drove like an insane bitch on fucking 465 because I go like 78. This dude is ripping through traffic, passes me on the fucking highway going like 90. This guy's insane. Anyhow, I love him to death. He loved our show. I hope he's still watching. All right. If you're out there, Brent, give us a wave. All right.
So any more fluff on your end?
That's it. I am now also I'm like the SRT music teacher this is when the kids get the prick.
Whoa, Derek. Whoa. You take 2 steps back away from that.
I know. This is when the kids get to pick their extracurricular activity they want to get involved in. So there's a gaming class, there's a music class, there's a fitness.
When you say game, wait. When you say gaming, do you mean playing games or do
playing
you mean
games? Playing games. There's a chess class.
Okay.
There's So there's all these different activities you can pick from, and each of the
gaming teachers must be very popular.
There are 2 kids in that class. I got 7.
Wait, what?
Yep.
2 kids in a gaming? No way.
The chess class has more. They got 4. I got 7.
Wait. I'm running the numbers here. How many kids do you guys have in a class? Like 3 each?
Our class sizes are really small. My class average size is probably 8 per class. So it's great.
So which class is absolutely banging during SRT or whatever it's called?
Fitness is pretty a lot of the guys like to lift weights and shit.
That's fair, I guess.
Yeah. There's the outdoor basketball guys, but all of them went to fitness during the winter break. So it's like you had going outdoors and playing basketball, and then you had fitness. Now those are all crammed together. So they're like totally packed. I don't know how they fit them all in there into our weightlifting room. So it's kind of crazy. But yeah, it's fun. The kids so we're actually plotting right now. We've got a laptop with a recording program on it. So we're going to start recording songs. And should be fun. We actually today played Heart-Shaped Box. We learned how to play Heart-Shaped Box, which Richard, the guy who plays guitar, already knew. So I played drums, and then we taught Costin how to play. I shouldn't mention names, but
yeah, you really shouldn't.
They're just first names. We taught him how to play the bass part, right, which is really simple for Heart-Shaped Box. And then we banged it out. And then the CEO of the school was walking by, and she's like, "Holy crap, what's going on in here?" She's like, "You guys are really good. What song is that?" And she's the same age I am. I was like, "That's Nirvana. You should know that." And she's like, I wasn't that cool.
Well, no. So no, that just because, everybody has their own flavor of music. Now, mind you, they should have heard of, and they probably know Teen Spirit and stuff like that. But
Heart-Shaped Box was the first single from the album after that, right?
Doesn't matter.
It was a pretty big hit.
I know that was, but I'm not saying that. What I'm saying it's like you coming into a room and saying, "Oh, what's that song?" They're playing some country song, and
I would know it if it were a big hit. I would know it. Unless it's a modern ticket.
Technically speaking, you don't count because you're not that person who came into your office. Who was it again?
It's the CEO.
The CEO. Yeah. So he's probably not. She's probably not a music connoisseur as yourself.
No, she's not, and I'm a music snob.
And maybe she was just into the whole Madonna scene instead, and didn't really dig the grunge scene when it came out.
She knew who Nirvana was, but
sure. Who doesn't know who Nirvana is the question.
She was like into this sort of mamas and papas thing, which is cool. I think that's cool. I love the mamas and papas. All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray, and the sky is gray.
That's like, it was like what? What year was that? What year is that shit?
That was probably 67.
Yeah, so I mean, same age as you and everything. And
but you like
that's true. You guys were going through grade school in that time period, so it makes sense.
And then you got Monday, la la, can't get that day, whatever the lyrics are. Anyhow. All right, so that was my week. All right,
so Derek, what you need to do is you need to pick up you need to get the art teacher to leave as well, and you can pick art.
No.
Listen, you can pick up art class, and you guys can do crafts, and you guys can take shoe boxes and make your own guitars.
No,
rubber bands, and then you can teach them how to play music on those.
I've never built a musical instrument out of a shoebox. I'm completely unqualified to do that. All right,
just a couple rubber bands and
well, yeah, that sounds
sure. You need to glue like a paper towel roll to the top of the shoebox.
Yeah, the nails spaced just perfectly so it's all in tune. Sure,
there you go.
Got to get the same
some rubber bands. Yeah,
the rubber bands have to be perfectly tuned and the same elasticity.
You got different thicknesses of rubber bands throughout, so they have different pitches and everything.
Well, no, you just have to stretch them further to make higher pitches.
That's true. You could do that, yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow, I get the
sounds like you know exactly what to do, Derek. Get on it.
I do know what to do. I'm not doing it.
By Monday, I want you to bring one on the show.
Fuck that.
You play a little ukulele type of.
Ain't happening. No. Okay, not happening.
Okay.
All right.
Enough. So,
all right. What else we got? Let's start some football.
So Data MB came out with the top 7 leagues U22 fullbacks with the most successful attacking actions.
Okay.
What American players on that list?
Under 22, you said?
Under 22 fullbacks.
Okay, then that would, of course, be
let me hold on. Let me pull up and think real quick.
It's going to be Nathaniel Brown.
Going to 33. There's 33 options.
Nathaniel Brown's going to be one of them. Left backs or just backs?
Fullbacks.
Well, maybe Fossey.
Nathaniel Brown is on it. He's number 29. That's not who I was looking at. I had to look for that one.
Fuck. He's 29? Who's above him?
He's number 29, yes. Do not cheat. Do not look at the chat. Don't look at the chat. I can see your eyeballs.
I'm not looking.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm looking at you. Remember, this is the opposite view. Listen, I don't know who else would be on there as a back. Dest? Would Dest be above?
You're not going to be able to read that, I'm sure.
No, that's for ants.
Right, yeah. Right here at number 22 is Joe Scally.
Okay. That's
he's got more. What the hell is the criteria? More attacking actions than Nathaniel Brown, but he's also played a lot more.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. How do they balance that? Because per game, I can't possibly be even. Is this an average or just the total for the season?
I think it's just total. I think it's with the most successful attacking actions.
Well, what about Dest? He doesn't play, so he doesn't get on the list.
He's not on the list. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then this is a dumb fucking chart.
Well, I mean, it's players who are currently playing the game.
No, you just do the average per game. You don't do total.
True. If Dest were to come back tomorrow and complete 47 attacking options, he would immediately jump up to the 10th spot.
And you do it over a couple years, maybe. I was going to say Fossey, but, I don't know. But, I have no complaints that both of those guys are on there, Nathaniel Brown and
I didn't even bother to look for Brown until you mentioned him. I'm like, oh, shit, he should probably be in there. Is my guess.
A lot of people on X are like, don't even talk about Nathaniel Brown. He's not on the team. Fuck off.
Yeah, you saw those things too about our depth, huh?
Yep. And it's like, well, I'm going to talk about him because it's ridiculous that we're not talking to him.
U22, by the way, David. U22.
Mm-hmm. We need to be talking to that guy. And maybe we have since a month and a half ago when Poach said we hadn't. And then, Brown said we hadn't even reached out to him. But got to fix that. Brian Reynolds.
He's not a top 7 league.
Brian Reynolds is not. I mean, did he recently score a couple goals? Yes. But he's not prolifically known, even in Belgium, for going forward. He's just not. He's not known for it.
Again, it doesn't matter. He's not in a top 7 league.
That's true. He's not.
It doesn't matter.
Right. Nothing against Reynolds.
I think Fossey's 25. And I think you're right. I think he is up there.
Yeah, he's
25,
older.
26. Yeah, absolutely.
He's been around. People forget how long he languished at Fulham, not playing, and playing for the U teams, the U23s.
Tyler Reynolds says, can confirm Brown has been reached out to. Source, my ass.
What part of your ass? The colon, the large intestine, or just like the anus part? Because I think that makes a difference.
Fair enough.
All right.
Yeah, so Crank's one today. We see you, Joe Skelly.
Because the colon...
He didn't mention Nathaniel Brown. That's kind of sad.
Yeah, the colon usually has deeper information than the anus. The anus is just surface information, typically. So if it's coming from your ass... I'm preferring it come from your colon than your anus. Anus just surface level. You got to wipe that after you poop. Nobody wipes their colon after they poop.
Unless they really dig in there.
Unless they dig in there, I guess you're wiping a portion of your cecum, right? All right. Anyhow, for the 148 of you here, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma, and give your stepsister a salute from me. She's a real trooper. Especially hanging out with you and your smelly ass balls. All right. What else we got?
Well, a really well-known and talked about lawsuit has finally started.
Okay.
I've gone to court. Do you know which one that is?
If it's the one I'm thinking, it's NASL, and that's been in court for a long time.
Well, no. The actual thing just started. Like they filed it and they.
Oh, I know.
Waiting.
I know, but this has been a long time brewing, which is why I was able to guess it.
So they started, yeah. I mean, U.S. Soccer is only incorporated in a couple of lawsuits. I think the ladies one has gone. That's done. So outside of NASL, I mean, are they involved in any others?
This is the big one, right?
This is the big one, yeah.
Because it is getting
NASL is looking for $170 million,
basically to just pay their lawyers at this point.
Damage at this point, yeah. Fuck, it's been that long. It has been that long.
It has been forever, and those lawyers are like, when are we getting paid? Because you motherfuckers are broke. Okay, you're broke.
Might not get paid, yeah.
You guys are a bunch of broke asses. When are we getting paid? Oh, well, you win this and we'll pay you. That's what this is going to come down to. And good luck to them. I hope, they got plenty of good arguments, but.
Yeah, 100%. There's an argument to be made. Whether or not they're going to convince whomever they need to convince in this case is the difference.
A judge.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know U.S. Soccer. Obviously, U.S. Soccer is the counter here, and then you have MLS who are incorporated there because U.S. Soccer were circle jerking during that time period.
Can you imagine if this were a jury? Oh my God!
They're gonna be sitting there in the box going, "What the fuck
are they fucking talking about? What is all this?"
Wait! You're upset because they wouldn't let you play with in their system,
division?
Whatever it is, league division,
the pyramid.
Wait,
you colluded with U.S. Soccer?
Just pick up your ball and go home. Damn it!
Yeah,
No.
This is.
No, mind you, I have a different opinion from that joke that we were just making there on this whole matter. We grew up. Oh no, let me rephrase this. We started the Indy 11 team within the new NASL system.
Yes, our team started
we were
in
there.
That system. Yep,
we were there from ground zero.
I knew
You know exactly what happened.
I knew the fucking the commissioner personally. I talked to him numerous times on the phone, so I was extremely involved in the early NASL days. So you attended their
the supporter groups meeting.
Yeah, you went there in my stead.
I went down to ATL, and I got all decked out. I had my suit, my nice little dress shirt. I had the vest over top, and I walked in there, and everybody was wearing jeans or shorts and t-shirts and a scarf. Fuck you, we're the only official ones here.
Yeah, no, we always dressed better than everybody else.
Like I was class. I was absolute class in there. I walked in there, and I'm like, hey, you know what? We're the only fuckers here selling out stadiums.
Yeah, and I was like the only leader of a supporters group that wore a jacket on the regular. Like, that was weird for, I'm sure, some. But you know what? It was we were doing a professional thing, and we were meeting other professionals. I had to look professional. Like we couldn't come off like a bunch of jackasses building that team. No way. All right. Yeah. Well, good luck to you, NSL. By the way, tonight I am drinking. Oh, I already threw it away.
Oh.
I am drinking one of the Taxman beers.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I polished up my bourbon already, and I have like this much left in my last drink. So
yeah,
I mean, we're 30 minutes into the show, so that's fair enough, I guess.
It is.
So on that topic, Jason Davis in his morning kick around show had Stephen
good old
Bank.
Jason.
He had Stephen Bank on the show.
Okay.
Do you know who Stephen Bank is?
I don't. I know who Jason is, obviously.
I didn't know either, but he has a lot of insight into this court procedure. Between the lawsuit between NASL and U.S. Soccer.
Right.
And I wanted to play a clip, and I think you might be able to work this into another segment of one of our intros, Derek.
Okay.
But let's hear what he has to say about this.
Jason's head is looking very long in this shot. Very thin and long. Like almost a butt head sort of thing going on there. Or
aging a bit there, right here.
Or Beavis.
Don't get me wrong, I'm aging too, but
I mean, we all are, but our heads are still round. His is very long.
It's got to work through the canal, I guess, right?
No offense, Jason. Not that you watch this show. Otherwise, you would have known the whole thing with what's his face kicking Berhalter's dog was a complete joke, right? You would have known that, and you would have reported it.
That. You sent me that, and like, dude, it came up on the show, and he didn't know what it was.
No, he didn't. But he said, "I'm seeing all these reports that somehow Matt Miazga kicked Berhalter's dog." Come on, I'm like, dude. It's such a joke. You missed the joke in that. All right, whatever.
Lavernat says, dude looks like Hetfield from Metallica. If you shake down his head a bit.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun. All right, anyways. This is a quick clip. And again, I think you might be able to work this into some kind of a new intro in the future, okay? So
we'll see.
Bottle this in your mind.
How long is this going?
Like 5 seconds or so.
Okay, perfect.
And you can shorten it down however you want, but the payoff's worth it.
Okay.
In any event, Kessler's got to somehow distance NASL from the FIFA corruption scandal because that's a taint that's pretty big.
How do you word that in there? That's a taint. That's pretty big.
Stain would have worked better. A taint?
Like oh man, you could have worded that any other way.
A taint. The taint is pretty big.
That's a pretty big taint.
I mean, the erogenous area in that taint is large. I mean, tongues of pleasure all night on that taint. Okay, good. I'm glad you found that.
Brandon says, hey, it's a very common law term. That taint. Oof. You're in the courtroom. Yeah, like, we need to separate ourselves from the FIFA corruption because that taint. Oh God.
You
It's a
do remember?
big taint.
You remember the song "Tainted Love"? Da la la la. Tainted love. Like, and you're just thinking, okay, if you take that to mean something else, tainted love, like their focus about their relationship is all about the taint, right?
Yeah.
You lick my taint. Oh, you don't have one? Too bad, right? Girls have a taint? They don't really, do they? Never really thought of that. Isn't the zone between the pussy and the ass be their taint? Do girls have taints? That's my question. Because there is a zone between the vagina and the anus that could be considered a woman's taint.
Yeah.
But for us, it's between.
What did Team America say? It's the difference between a vagina and an asshole is a quarter of an inch or something like that.
There's more. A vagina and an asshole is a quarter of an inch. I guess it's why you can miss sometimes if you drink too much.
Whoops.
Whoops. Yes, the name of that band, thank you, Broken Furnace, is Soft Cell. That man knows his music. He knows his music.
Yeah.
All right. I know I got it all in here, like the music, the sound, and the songs, but I don't
David
have.
The note says the hashtag normalize large taints.
All right, we better get to something soccer related soon. All right,
for the soccer. We've been talking about soccer. We're talking about MLS, and now it's U.S. soccer. And we haven't talked about MLS. This
Hold
is US
on.
soccer.
Ironically, for the 169 of you here on X and Twitter currently, make sure you like and subscribe.
Watch out for the taint, apparently.
And giggity. All right, here we go. We're getting into soccer.
So this is going to be touching back on a heated topic that we had on the show not too long ago when it came to Nathaniel Brown, whether or not he's capable of playing for the U.S. men's national team soccer team.
What?
Because he had some U21 caps after he turned 21.
Oh, he's perfectly capable.
So Edgar here says FIFA has rejected to switch 3 players from the Netherlands to Suriname. This is due to playing U21 official games after turning 21. Suriname is looking to resolve this with CAS, but it's a difficult task considering each appeal costs $25,000, and financially they aren't good.
Well, we can afford it. We'll be fine.
So what you're saying, that's money laundering if I've ever heard of it.
If it comes to that, and I don't think it will.
So he was pressed. That people are like, "Hey, what were the 3 players' names?" And he says, my source wouldn't reveal them."
Yeah, and I mean, listen, some of these players' connections might go back to their great grandparents or whatever. So let's be honest here. I think Nathaniel Brown's connection to the United States is very clear.
Yeah, that's a really good point. You're right. That's a really good point.
Yeah. So sucks for Suriname, as Fumar points out, but I think, listen, I have heard nothing. Like Nathaniel Brown in that interview that he did a month ago would have said, "Well, I don't even know if I'm capable of playing."
I don't think players really think about that. That should come down to the federation. That should come down to U.S. Soccer saying
he's thought about it.
No, but that's the thing. He's probably, his thought process is like, well, I mean, I guess I could play for him because of X, Y, and Z, my connections to U.S. But it should be U.S. Soccer's take at this point, where some press, even if it's a bot mainstream media press, saying, "Hey, what about Nathaniel Brown?" And then Poach come out and say, "Well, we verified he doesn't qualify to play for us."
Well, here's the worst thing.
They can splash it out right there. That's all I'm saying.
The worst thing about this is no one from the fucking mainstream press covering soccer has asked Poach specifically about Nathaniel Brown in an interview or one of those fucking things where prior to the game, he sits there and we ask questions, or our good friend Henri Chase. No one has said a fucking word. No one has asked a fucking question specifically about those 2 players. And frankly, that's egregious.
Well, no, it's
egregious.
It's just fascinating watching the type of questions that get asked by our press, and then you look at the press that happens, in the championship, EPL, whatever it's
you
international
get those
speaking,
tough questions. Yes.
Yeah, they hound on you, and the thing is, I despite the fact they're being hounded upon, I don't see those teams or the leagues or the federations saying, you from this paper, you can't come out here anymore. No, you can't talk. You can't ask those hard questions anymore. Why are we pussyfooting around?
They're not pussyfooting around. They're fucking idiots. You haven't realized? Okay, not all of them. We know some of them. But by the way, Brian Schroeder isn't at every press conference, nor is our friend from the Washington Post. They're not there every time. So the rest of them, and we know Meg would ask that question. She's not there every time. And we know others that are banned from asking questions. Period.
So, even Brian, Goff, Meg, they all have to word their questions
gently,
very strategically. They're trying to get to their point that what they want answered, but they have to ask it very strategically because they know how to play the game. And we've talked to we've heard from
Brian
her.
And Goff do. Meg had her issues, right?
Yeah, when you say issues, you mean issues with the federation because they're
sure.
little pussyfoots,
They thought some of her questions were too hard.
Yeah.
So
and Greg's barely got he's barely got a college education. He can't answer that question, right? Come on,
barely. Yeah. So I mean, that's the real frustrating part. This isn't something that should be up in the air. When somebody asked the question, I don't remember who it was. Have you been reaching out to other players? Can we get more specific about which players you're interested in him reaching out to? In particular, at this point, if we get past this camp and nobody asks Poach about Nathaniel Brown or Henry Chase, they're fucking morons. I don't care if it's out of context. I don't care if this is a January camp. You got the opportunity to ask vital questions about the U.S. men's national team going forward. If you can't figure out how to ask those questions, then you shouldn't be working. You should not be a fucking journalist covering U.S. men's national team. Period. End of story. Those are extremely important things. We lack center backs, and we got no real backup yet for Jedi. Unless you want to count Christopher Lund or fucking Tolkien, who just is heading over to Holstein Kiel.
Spoiler alert, Derek. That's coming up later.
And I think Tolkien's going to do really well, by the way, in Germany. I really do.
Yeah, well, and my thing was like, I posted it on Twitter saying, is this the best option for Tolkien to do? Hell yeah, it is. Go challenge yourself. Go take the chance because you may not ever have it again.
And what's so hard about being specific about your question? If as Fumar says, if you're interested in Koleosho, ask him specific about Koleosho. Instead, we got this general, because of the general question, we got this general mishmash answer from Poch, where he basically says, Poach, excuse me, well, we're not begging anybody, I'm just paraphrasing here, to come play for us.
Follow Poach. We're not asking you to beg. Could you elaborate on who you've talked to and expressed interest in playing, and then what their answer were?
And by the way, we're not asking you to fucking cradle their ball sack while you suck their cock. All right, we're not. Nobody's asking for that.
Pick him up the phone and say, "Hey, Nathaniel, we see you doing a lot of good things over there in Germany. We'd like to give you a call up this camp. What do you say?" And if he says no, you say, "All right, well, the ball's in your court, buddy. Best of luck."
I mean, at the very least, you say we're listening, we're watching, and we care. We care. Keep it up. All right, that's it. Sorry, pissed me off. This whole thing pisses me off.
Let's jump over to MLS where Tom Bogert. He says all details.
Hold on. Tom, don't bogart that joint, my friend. There we go. Okay, go ahead.
All details in Chicago Fire preliminary talks to sign global superstar Neymar, per sources by Jacobs Ben. I don't know who Jacobs Ben is.
Ben Jacobs.
Give me some.
It's not Jacobs Ben. It's Ben Jacobs. Yeah.
Well, that's a Twitter handle. That's a Twitter handle. He's got a lot of followers.
Yeah.
374,000 followers.
Talk Sport
This
Live.
is, hey, these are preliminary talks, obviously difficult. Chicago is the only MLS team in official talks. Why? Because Chicago has the discovery rights.
But I hear
Neymar.
there are two others.
Well, there are other interested parties. Yes, Miami. If you want to come and get Neymar,
There's no way they can afford. How
you got to pay for him.
How can you possibly afford Neymar with the lineup you have right now?
I don't know, dude. But could you imagine Neymar, Suarez, and Messi all back together again?
Not to mention the other two former Barcelona players that are already on the team.
I know, right? Gam and Tam, that's how they're going to do all that shenaniganry.
I don't think that'll cover it.
They're going to have to trade somebody out, right? But that's one of the teams. I forgot who the other team was that's interested.
Well, it was a question mark. It was a line and a question mark.
Well, yeah, no, somebody else posted that. It was Miami and somebody else. I don't know who else the other team is. But regardless, if you want his rights, you got to come through us first.
That's true. But here's the funny thing about if you guys actually pull this off, he'll be awful. And you guys will be worse than ever. It'll be hilarious to watch. Your team will suck more than ever with Neymar on it. Yeah, it'll be bad.
It's always possible. Yeah.
It's so bad, dude. You brought in that Swiss dude, and he looked like dog shit.
He was fine the first season, but then after that, he kind of coasted. And that's the problem with bringing in the big names, right?
Well, if you think he coasted, you just wait till Neymar gets on this team. He'll be coasting more than anyone.
I'm unlike Tact. I'm not sitting here going, "Oh man, I want Neymar on my team right now," you know. And if Neymar comes and plays, I'm happy. But I fully suspect he's going to come and coast.
Oh, for fuck's sake, yeah.
So
why would you suspect anything? He's already being let go from his Saudi Arabian team because he's totally out of fitness.
Yeah,
they're like, so he's in no state to play.
I literally before the show, I saw a quote from the manager, and he's basically like, yeah, we because apparently the Saudi teams are only allowed to have 8 domestic players.
Correct.
And he got injured, so they went out and they went and signed another non-domestic player. So they have their 8 players, and now he's back and healthy and ready to play, but they would have to offload somebody. And they came out. The coach said, "Hey, he's just not there, ready, fit yet." Which leads me to think that he's prior to becoming healthy again, he was partaking in the booze and the foods.
Probably, maybe.
Yeah, he's just out of shape.
He just said, "Fuck it."
Yeah, give me my money. Give me my money.
And when he goes to Chicago, he'll take the money and say, "Fuck it too."
That's definitely a concern.
And you guys will be up the fucking creek without a paddle again. All right, what else we got here?
Now, what are you talking about? We got Guti. Could you imagine Berhalter having Neymar on the roster, and instead of playing him, he plays Guti?
It does. I think he'll figure out a way to get them both on.
I think he would too. No, I don't think it's going to be one or the other. I think Guti's going to play regardless. I'm just saying, what type of drama would occur if Neymar was riding pine in Chicago?
Well, he's not going to. They're going to pay him. They're going to pay.
Not the money they're going to pay. Yeah.
If Neymar was represented by the biggest shit you ever took, it would fill up the whole toilet. They're going to have to play him.
Yeah, I come back to this. The contract for Duran was short-lived. They signed him. He couldn't come over for like 2 years, and he came over for half a season. Their contract was already nearing, like they could have extended his contract, but they ended up getting like $8 million for him, so they offloaded him. Now, of course, Duran's going on, and he's succeeding over in the EPL. And there's some talks of much bigger moves for him in Europe.
That's not how you spell his name, because my first thought is, it's really crazy after his boxing career that Roberto Duran went on to play soccer for Chicago.
How's his last name spelled?
I think it's
in there?
DH somewhere. There's an H somewhere in that bitch.
That's the only thing I can think of, yeah.
Yep.
David D says, hey, but the attendance in Chicago would go up.
Yeah, it'd go from like probably like a turtle like if your dick was turtling, and they'd go up to about half erect. Because
well, I mean they're in Soldier Field, so I mean you're already looking at what, like a 50,000-60,000 seat
how many
stadium?
Brazilians live in Chicago?
Well, I mean, at that point, I don't know if it's necessarily Brazilians, but I mean there'll be enough people around the Chicago area that would love to just come see Neymar play. Period.
How many lovers of Neymar live in Chicago would be my question.
If Neymar came to Chicago, I would wager that they would probably sell a decent number of tickets, regardless.
It's John Duran. There's an umlaut over the A, not an umlaut, whatever those are called.
Yeah. Oh, the H was on John. That's right. Yeah.
Thank you, Tyler. Yeah, that was I'm sure my joke about Roberto Duran went over your head and everybody else's too.
No, I have no idea who you're talking about.
Roberto Duran was the middleweight champion of the world for like a good long time in the 80s. Yeah, and he's known as one of the best boxers of all time. All right.
So Tax says I'd much rather have Neymar in MLS than the Saudi League, except for one specific team in MLS, the Chicago Fire, and that seems to be the team that's leading the race. What a disgrace! And I said, hey, I'll reach out to Greg and see if we can get a custom jersey just for you, buddy.
I bet. By the way, I just want to remark on how long our viewers have been stuck on 169. It's kind of weird.
No, it's been great. You mean?
I mean, it's good, but it's kind of like on purpose, maybe.
I think we're constantly kicking people out just so we have 169 in there at all times.
Yeah, but
until we get up to 269, then we'll keep them out. Then.
All right.
So here's Mr. Bogart talking about Neymar, and this is a short clip.
He lost weight. Look at him.
Yeah,
Tom lost weight.
I think he's trimmed up his beard a little bit too.
I think his face is smaller in general.
It's just because it's in comparison, right? I don't know.
He's still got that Selleck beard going.
He absolutely does. Yes.
Yep.
Keep rocking it, man. Keep rocking it.
How close are they to actually getting him to sign a contract?
Not close at all. These are.
There you go.
Oh no, he hasn't. It's the same Tom Bogart. Sorry, my bad. It was just the angle.
Yeah. So like, how close are Chicago to signing Neymar? And he goes, not close at all. He goes into more detail here, but of course
we don't need to watch it.
We don't need to watch it. That's all.
Not really that close.
Not close at all, actually.
Although Greg and whatever the other dude flew down there, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Real quick, while we're talking about Chicago, and I know it's biased towards me and not you necessarily, but sources confirm by Fabrizio that Chicago have reached an agreement with Celta Vigo's Jonathan Bamba. So we're going to get a French winger.
Oh, you're just going all about you tonight.
Well, I wanted to bring this up quickly, not because I really cared about the player coming over to Chicago, but I posted this when Chicago posted this news coming out, and I said, I hope that Section 8 basically comes out with a chant for Jonathan Bamba in the tune of La Bamba. Oh, Jonathan La Bamba. He scores all the goals, and something like that. I don't know, something like that.
That'd be impossibly cliche.
I hope it absolutely would be, but at least it'd be kind of original.
I hope they don't do it.
I hope they do.
Okay, well, that's your team, so you can fucking do whatever you want.
Yeah, there's so many cliche chants that people put for players all the fucking time.
Dude, there's so many. Like when we first started our team here in Indianapolis, they would send me the lyrics to the chat to the chants they were going to do. Like, that's just cheesy as fuck. Don't do that.
They're all of VYB's chants. And I'm going to put quotes here. All. Maybe not all of them, but the vast majority of them were just regurgitated from what Sam's Army did, or
that's what I told them.
Their club did in Europe or whatever.
That's what I told them.
This might not necessarily even be original. I don't even know. I don't know what the previous clubs did for him. I'm just saying, I see a guy with the name Bamba at the end. I'm like, that just makes sense that you have a chant to that tune because it adds up. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, as Bimmy reports, Bogart recently tweeted that reports of Berhalter and the Fire executive going to Saudi Arabia were false. Thank you. So that is bullshit, like some other bullshit we're going to take up later on tonight.
The Chicago may still have the rights to Neymar. It just means that
you imagine flying Berhalter out to meet with Neymar? What a fucking joke.
But that's the thing. It's just the rumors of Berhalter flying out to Saudi Arabia were false. The
Neymar penis head, Neymar.
The concept that we have the discovery rights, that there may be other clubs that may be interested in that they'd have to go through us, very much active.
This ain't happening.
I personally would rather take the GAM. I would rather have Miami come in here and say, hey, we'll pay you 1 million GAM for his rights.
He's not going.
Derek, I'm making up numbers here. This is all funny money. It's all MLS monopoly money. Who cares?
He's not going.
1 bajillion GAM. 1 bajillion GAM.
There is no amount of GAM and TAM that will allow Miami to sign Neymar. I'm sorry. If they manage that, they're breaking rules. Well, we got to move on from this.
That's not what I said, anyways, Derek.
I know, but
you heard. You listened to the words coming out of my mouth, and you came up with something completely different.
It's too much MLS.
The 1 million GAM was what they pay Chicago for the discovery rights. Is what I said.
We're just losing people by the minute here with all this MLS shit.
No, you just give them the idea to leave. That's your problem, Derek.
No, I'm just watched the numbers drop.
It's 161. It's been teetering between this number for all eternity.
We were stuck at 169 for like 10 minutes.
That was before Chicago.
Yeah, now we're at 164.
Yeah, because you keep telling people to leave. Way to go, Derek.
No,
rude! And you're just trying to sabotage the channel. I see how this is going.
That's what I do here.
That's what you're doing. You're here to sabotage the channel.
I'm here to fuck this show up.
All right. Let me think about what we're. Oh, I know what we're going into. We're going to be going into.
Do not panic. Do not panic. Cap them now. Cap them now.
Just in time.
Oh, just in time, indeed.
Oof, that was barely close. I thought I had it shared, but I didn't. And I was freaking out for those 6 seconds, but I came up.
Yeah, Stürmer Khan Anaglu. Verlankert signed for. All right, I won't do that. Turkish American striker Khan Inanoglu. 05 extends his contract with Frankfurt too. I think he's gonna probably play for
next time.
God, I think he's gonna play for Turkey.
It's a safe assumption.
I just think
you never know. You never know all the way though. But this is the duel in that panic. He could play for the U.S.
He could, but I don't know. Don't see any.
He's a 20-year-old striker playing for Frankfurt's 2 team.
Yeah, I think A, it's too soon, and B, I think he's played for the Turkish youth teams.
Probably again another safe assumption.
He played for their U20. He played for their U21 teams, I believe.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's very safe to say.
That's because I can read German.
Oh, there you go. You started to read German, and you freaked out, and you're like, oh.
Well, no, I couldn't read his name. That's the problem. Khan Inanoglu.
Wait, which word in this is Turkey?
Turkey?
Yeah, you said they played for U21s in Turkey.
Okay. I just assuming they're saying he's an under 21. He's never played for us, as far as I know.
I don't recognize the name, but I'm gonna.
Well, maybe. Yeah, just look it up real quick.
I'm gonna look it up. Let's see. Handle that super chat.
Neymar, do you have the verticality? I think that will be fine, but he'll have to get used to getting on crosses because that's how Berhalter likes to play.
I don't think it's going to work out very well.
Kick it around the horn, cross it. Kick it around the horn, cross it.
So Khan has played 7 times for the Turkish U19s.
Okay. And Kevin Brenner saying it's Turkey. Turkey. Or
actually, the Olympics informed us that it's Turkey.
No, they did not say that.
No, well, that's what the spelling. There's 2 K's in there. It's like Turkey.
No, it was just Turkey.
Was it Turkey?
Yeah. And I'm sorry, but it's really hard at 53 after 52 years of calling it Turkey to call it Turkey. I mean, it's difficult to make that switch, like consciously, right? Turkey. Like, that's not an easy thing to suddenly, after 53 years of saying Turkey, to say Turkey. Like, if you came to me and I knew you as Roger for 50 years, and then you're like, I don't want you to call me Roger. I want you to call me Roger Ray. I'm like, okay, Roger, I'm sorry.
Probably going to fuck it up at least 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
I'm going to fuck that up. I am going to fuck that up. I'm going to say, hey, Roger. He's like, Roger Ray. I'm like, oh, fuck. I fucked it up again.
Derek, it's not Iran, it's Iran.
Iran, not Iran. Sorry. George Bush fucked me over. The second one did. Iran.
We're going to invade Qatar.
Ping's like, that's transphobic there. I'm not even talking about that issue. It's just difficult. What my point was, it's difficult to change after you've done something for 50 years. Straight. Turkey to Turkey, kind of,
gotta say, what if I want to say, it's no longer United States of America. It's now you can call us the best country in the world.
Well,
that's how we pronounce it.
It's like, when countries change names, it takes you a while to get used to it, right? Like
Turkey.
Well, Cambodia changed to Khmer, for a while. Sri Lanka changed to something else for a while. I mean, it's just like, I can't keep up with it all, right?
Yeah.
All those fucking Bosnian, Herzegovina, and the splitting of Yugoslavia, they're all Montenegro, and now they're 2 countries that claim to be Macedonia.
It's Turk-toi.
Turk-toi.
Wow.
All right. So
I just want the rest of the world to call us Americans. Americans.
Okay. I don't care what you call us. Con, good luck. Good luck in Frankfurt too.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. Bollocks in Bollock City. This is actually
Transfer news. Transfer news. Who's getting mounted on transfer news? Who's getting over on transfer news? Transfer news. Everyone loves that transfer news. But me.
Whatever. All right.
We have one here. It's Czechia, not Czech Republic.
Yeah, I mean, things are changing constantly.
And actually, Turkey's pronounced jerk me off.
Turk me off. All right. John Tolkien to the Bundesliga. Per Tom, don't bogart that joint, my friend. Holstein Kiel's finalized transfer deal. 22-year-old left back. Deal is for $3 million with the Red Bulls retaining a sell-on fee. This is good. I like the sell-on fee things. Kiel currently sit second bottom from bottom in the German top flight, although they just beat a pathetically sad-ass fucking Dortmund team.
Yeah, that's what pushed them up in the second from the bottom. The big thing is that from where Kiel's sitting right now, they're like a win and some change away from being whatever, like 15th in the league.
Yeah.
So it's not out of the question that Tolkien goes there, puts the team on his shoulders and leads them to victory as he gets 11 assists like he did at New York Red Bulls.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he'll be fine there. I think he'll do really well there. I think we might even see James Sands start for St. Pauli coming up. We want to get into the generalities of new guys going over to the Bundesliga, and I think this is the future. I think if you want to go overseas, you want to get some playing time.
Ooh, that's kind of leading into our main topic, I guess.
Yeah, like the best place to go is the Bundesliga.
Do you want to kind of jump into that now?
Yeah, because you're going to get a chance, and I guarantee you Tolkien's going to get a chance.
I would say the 2 leagues that I would feel comfortable with the player going to and possibly jumping right into the lineup, not even jumping right into the lineup, but getting an opportunity to jump into the lineup would be Bundesliga
and
Eredivisie.
That I would also currently, and I wouldn't have said this 5 years ago or 10 years ago, Serie A.
I would say established players, yes. Maybe not necessarily immediate newcomers.
Oh, no. If you're still...
Mind you, Busio and Tessman were kind of jumped right into Venezia. I mean, it took Testament a half a season in Serie A before he became a kind of a consistent player, and he kind of took Bussio's spot. But aside from Venezia,
no, I just think there's a trend developing there where I think in Italy, Americans are becoming more respected as players. And I think there's an opening there. Like, I think there is a welcoming there where if you're an American, you go there, they're like, yeah, are you the next McKennie? Are you the next Pulisic? Or, I just think that it's so much harder to do in England. I just think there's still a stigma.
Nope, that's fair.
And I just think it's going to be difficult. And I think the Bundesliga is open. I think the Dutch have embraced American players. And now, of course, we have the best Dutch team is totally been infiltrated by American players, right? PSV is essentially practically an American team. You got 4 Americans on that team. And, if Dest is healthy, I mean, that might mean that Ledesma goes to the bench, or maybe he moves over to somewhere else. Who knows? But you could practically have 4 Americans starting at PSV once De Jong's gone, right? That's almost half the team starting are Americans. You can move Dest up the field further and have Ledesma play right back and have Dest play right midfield instead. So they're all or right winger. There are all kinds of things that could happen going forward. And now they also just signed, of course, the Bosnian kid,
Esmir.
Baraktarovic. Right.
I love how you skipped the easy part of his name, Esmir, and you went straight to his you can barely pronounce it last name.
Yeah.
I'm not going to remember that anymore.
I mean, he's not American anymore because he picked Bosnia, but he's still American in the sense that he was born here, he played here, he grew up here, he was raised here, he was learned the game here. So
he's still an American. He just happens to play for his dual citizenry.
Mm-hmm.
He plays for Bosnia instead.
And then you look at the
he still has an American passport and everything. He can still come over, no problems.
Right. And then you look at the success of Utrecht this season, currently in second or third. I think third now.
Third right now, yeah.
I mean, what Paxton Aronson is doing in the Eredivisie this year is disgustingly great. It's sick. Like the way he just played this week. And I know it's the beaker, but who cares? The big guy. He's just the best player on that team. And it's not even close. There's no one as important to Utrecht as Paxton Aronson is to Utrecht.
No, yeah.
And so I do think, I love the fact that outside of, let's say England, Bundesliga, Serie A, Spain, is Portugal is usually rated better than Holland, but still it's outside of that top 5 or battling to just get inside that top 5. We didn't mention France. They're probably 5th, but Portugal, France, you got Holland. Those are the leagues you want to play in, right? So Bundesliga, I think welcoming to Americans, Serie A becoming way more welcoming to Americans, and then, Holland, right? I think those are the 3 spots you want to go to. France is starting to embrace American players. When you watch how McKenzie has played for Toulouse this season, you're thinking, all right. And then you got Sabi, but, whatever. He's not making a huge mark. You got Balogun. You got Tessman there, who's having kind of a
Weah was there for a bit.
Weah roller coaster though for Tessman so far. Of course, thank God he didn't play in that game, the French Cup, because they got beat by a 5th division team made up of farmers, bartenders.
Oh, that was rough. Yeah, I saw that. I didn't see it. I heard it on the Twitter.
If I'm Testament, I'm just thanking my lucky stars.
Woo!
I was not asked to play in that game because that is a massive embarrassment.
So
embarrassment.
Spencer mentions championships a good place. Yep. I mean, I feel like absolutely. When they bring a player from America, they're actually absolutely aiming to start or play them consistently because it's not like they're flooded with money that they can just start making these transfers willy-nilly. You kind of have to make that bid.
You take PSV, Feyenoord, and Ajax. traditionally out of the Dutch league, you might as well just go to the championship because it's just a better league.
Yeah.
From top to bottom, it's just a more competitive, physical league. So
talking about where players should go to develop and stuff like that, and obviously, one of the big talking points is that somebody like Donovan will bring up is like maybe the player should just develop their game in MLS and then make their move afterwards. But I guess looking at leagues like Belgium,
that's
Denmark,
a bigger
and stuff
step
like that,
down.
it's
Bigger step down. Yeah.
SPL. I mean, you're looking at Euro leagues that you can sit there and say like, well, where does it compare against MLS in that sense? And you'll have people making arguments left, right, and center as far as where they fall in comparison. You know, some people are like, well, no, the Belgium league is better than MLS, X, Y, and Z. You know, they'll give the reasons why. Maybe they're biased. Maybe they like the Belgium league. Maybe they're from Belgium. Who knows? But we talked about the bigger step moving to like Denmark or Belgium, even though it's kind of a lateral move in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Is that more European sides will have eyes on you. And if you can go there and perform, you're more likely to get a transfer in those leagues to a better league than you would from MLS. Whereas if you're a standout player in MLS, you're looking at, a transfer fee that's going to be like 9-10 mil, maybe upwards to 18 like Pepe was. And when you start looking at transfer fees that high, because MLS wants to get paid. I understand it, but it's kind of out of left field, and it's crazy to ask, especially if it's above their market value. But it's gonna all of a sudden start removing teams from being interested because they can't afford it. So what's better? Is Belgium better than MLS to develop? Well, maybe MLS is better, but in Belgium, if you perform and you play well, you might have a better chance of moving on.
Well, we did see that with McKenzie. He, actually was kind of a roller coaster performer for Genk, but Genk were always at the top of the table battling, right? Mm-hmm. And they played some European ball, so he got that experience. And now he's at Toulouse, which is like, it's a minor step up into a minorly better league, but Toulouse are doing well, not great this season, but he's doing really well. And he has transformed as a player since he's got to France because he's being asked there and now when he comes to us to advance the ball forward and make passes he never made when he was just a Genk or an MLS team. Never. I think the other critical thing to like when Donovan says, oh, Reyna should have started his youth career in MLS. All right, can we go over the math of how many young MLS players actually get to fucking play in MLS?
It's a fair argument, too. Yeah.
It's a very fucking small number. And we go back to the interview of Pulisic's dad from years ago where they're like, why didn't he start out in MLS? And his dad said, well, we talked to some teams and they saw Pulisic and they said he's too small.
Too small, yeah.
He's too small. He'll get bullied. Okay, well, then you got a bunch of fucking idiots running MLS, obviously. So the fact that you're presuming that Reyna would have succeeded and got actual time to play when guys like Scally didn't get to play in MLS, hardly at all, but immediately went over to the Bundesliga and got to play.
Yeah.
Does that mean the Bundesliga sucks worse than MLS? Of course it doesn't. It just means that people in fucking the Bundesliga have their fucking eyeballs open. So,
or they're willing to give a promising player an opportunity and let them prove themselves.
Yes. And I think on MLS teams, they tend to have been really building on veteran skills. And so you're going to have to sit and wait. We've seen that even in Philadelphia. Right? With all the great young players, how many of those players have had to wait? A lot. Like Paxton Aronson, did he really play that much? No.
Philly, no, not really.
He didn't play that much for Frankfurt either, but now look at him. He's blossoming. So there's that to consider. So this whole idea that young players blossom or get to flourish in MLS is a fucking joke. It's not true.
And again, we talked about this when it came out and everything like that. But he's using Gio as an example. But Gio was playing literally half a season after arriving there in Dortmund.
Right.
And there was a time where he was the starter. And then what happened? He has something like 150 games for them right now. And Donovan's point was, well, if he had started his career in MLS, he'd have 300 plus games under his belt.
What's the guarantee there?
Assuming that he did play those and he got those 300 games, assuming that injuries didn't affect him, he would have over 300 games right now for Dortmund.
Yes,
it's an obvious thing. It's an obvious thing that you can look at the stats. Well, he was out for over half of his career at Dortmund with injury. Over half.
Yeah,
and he's got 150 games right now.
And who's to say he's not getting injured in MLS?
Yeah,
same injuries exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a silly argument to make, really. But I mean, I think the bulk of us are. No player is exactly the same. Some players will develop better being at home and stuff like that. Although I say that, we saw what happened to Gil. We saw what happened to Morris, and I know that Morris had his knee injuries, of course. But you go from being called into a bottom half Bundesliga team to not getting a sniff outside a championship.
Yeah.
So I mean. Right. Gil obviously was scouted by Arsenal, and he said, "No, I'm going to play at RSL," and we saw what happened there, so forth. So, I always lean into the thing where, if you're going to get a chance to play in Europe, no, we're not talking about Latvia or Luxembourg, but if we're talking about Europe as a whole, and where you want to go, I mean, you take your chance when you get it because you may not ever get it again.
Right. And then we do see the occasional, in Seattle we've seen it, Gutierrez in Chicago. Yes, there have been success stories with younger players. We see it in Dallas quite often too. But it's not a given. It's just not. Like, how long did Luna have to fight to finally get a regular starting spot on RSL? So the idea that, just start your young career in MLS as a given, as an easier given, is bullshit. It's just bullshit because it's not true. We went through the teams in the playoffs and the average amount of American players that got to play in those games. It was under 3. Mm-hmm. Okay? 3 players. And one of them was always the goalie, or most of the time it was always the goalie. And one of the other ones was always the center back.
Usually, yeah.
That leaves you one other attacking player who's American on the field on average during the MLS playoffs. Like, if that's what we're shooting for as an opportunity, then no. I'd rather Reyna go to Dortmund and fight his way up quickly, as he did, to the first team. And people just forget how injured he's been.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, he just sucks. No, he's been injured constantly, regularly. But when he's played for the U.S. men's national team, when he's been healthy, he's been fantastic.
Well, it's like, again, you're looking at standouts like a Gio, like a Pulisic, who were standouts at the youth level. And you're looking at somebody like Matisse Albert, who's with Dortmund now.
Yes.
And he's working his way up the youth ranks right now. And he's performing. He's scoring goals, assisting goals, doing well.
16-year-old kid playing way above, his age level. Yeah.
So it's would it have benefited him to sign with LA Galaxy at 16?
No. Not with LA Galaxy's track record.
Well, and again, there's how many 16-year-olds really flourish in MLS? There's been a handful that have come out. Aside from that, maybe it takes them a year or two before they work with. But again, maybe it takes them a year or two, and then the MLS club says, "Hey, you know what? We're going to offload you. You can go play wherever you want. You go to USL."
Yep.
So again, it's Dortmund comes a knocking. You don't say no. You're like, "Yeah, I'll come over."
Yeah, you're going to have exceptions like Adams. who played a lot. You're going to have exceptions like Aronson, who played a lot. Brendan Aronson, not Paxton. Paxton didn't play worth a dick, or didn't get played at all.
Play like one season in MLS.
I thought he played 2.
He might have. It's possible. Yep. It's been a hot minute.
But I mean, the point being, there's no guarantee starting off your career in MLS if you have the opportunity to go overseas and start your career in a Bundesliga academy or a 2-team or a U19 team. Go do it. Go do it. Is there a good chance you might fail? Absolutely. A lot of them do fail. But you might turn into the next Pulisic or there's a better chance for that. Or DeToni, we're seeing right now at Bayern. It's worth the shot. You're going to get exposure. If you're Richards, you went over there as early as you could. And it's turned out you're a professional. You play in the Premier League, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are no guarantees staying in the MLS is going to do anything but make you an MLS lifer. Look at Brian Gutierrez. I think he's permanently snuggled in with either Chicago or maybe some Mexican team, but no Europe.
As of right now, regardless who comes for Guti, they're going to have to put forth a massive bid because he's signed through 2028. Guti will be in Chicago for at least another season or 2. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
That's it. You can say the same thing about Luna. RSL is going to require a massive transfer for Luna. He's signed through 2028, guys. He's going to at least play next season, which he should, I guess, at this point, because he's finally worked his way into RSL. And then hopefully at that point, RSL is willing to wheel and deal.
2 weird comments. Daniel says, Chris Richards has an attractive aunt. Okay, I'll take your word for that. And then Pink says, Justin Shea may have been better staying in Dallas. So, yeah, there's some guys that have gone over there. We can name a great number of them, actually, who made the move. And I'm not going to punish them for that. You got to take the opportunity when it's given to you. Because you always have the opportunity to go back. Always.
In Che's defense, there was a lot of knob slobbering going on at Bayern. They're like, oh, we want this kid over here. And then it didn't work out. So he went back to MLS for like a season or half a season. And it was just like.
Not Justin Che. You're thinking somebody else.
No, Justin Che. And Bayern were the press and everything were like salivating over the kid.
Yeah, but he's never come back to MLS. He stayed in Europe.
No, he didn't. Justin Shea came back to play at Dallas for like half a season or a season.
Well, you better look that up because he's been in everywhere but MLS.
Wrong, don't you, huh? No, he 100% wrong. But go ahead, continue.
Oh, anyhow, you're going to be wrong. But that's okay. If you're right, I'll be amazed because I've tracked him. He's played for a bunch of shitty fucking tiny-ass teams all over Europe and done basically dick squad. Unless he came back real recently, if that's what you're saying. Because, all right.
The time he was unable to play at Bayern, he came back to MLS for like a season. He played 15 games in MLS. Derek, go suck donkey dick. You lost. Enough with your condescending. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. He went over to Bayern for like a small period of time. Here you go. Right there. Poof. He was at Bayern. Played for their reserve team, played 8 games, came back to MLS, and then he went off to Hoffenheim.
Okay. That's fine. I didn't know we were going back that far, honestly.
Oh, shut up. You're wrong.
Go scroll up and look at all the teams he's played for since.
Yes, I know. And I said Bayern were salivating over him on his stint when he was over there, and then he came back to MLS, and then it didn't pan out after that.
Yeah, I didn't think we were going all the way. I'm sorry. Didn't know we were going that far back. That's all I'm telling you.
Just admit you're wrong. It's all right.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, you can say, Brett, you're right.
I'm not eating crow, goddammit.
You are more often than not, you're right. You just can't prove yourself in such short time spans.
I am not eating crow over Justin Che. Fuck that. Not happening.
It's all right.
I like that one commentator who's new here. He's like, boy, that guy's got a rotten mouth. Welcome to the show. You must be a first-time viewer. All right. Alex Vetter for $2. Put long contracts for academy kids and don't play them. Yeah, I mean, MLS does that. They make kids sign these contracts and they can't go. So,
yeah.
Right. I'm not saying no way I'm saying I'm super wrong. I was not thinking about his original stint there. I was thinking about everything since Bayern. That was how I'm thinking
except for his half a season at the FC Dallas.
Everything since Bayern. What 2? When he went to 2?
Yeah, when he played Bayern 2, and then he
It's
couldn't.
all been a shithole.
They couldn't make an agreement on the transfer, so he went back to Dallas, and then all of a sudden he's at Hoffenheim the next season, the rest of the season or whatever.
And it's been all in the shitter since.
Oh, 100%. I don't disagree with you on that at all, dude.
Yeah, that was my point. I may have got some facts, but my whole point was downhill. And yes, I agree with the guy who wrote, maybe he should have stayed at Dallas. Yeah, he should have. Obviously, something's not right there. Probably in here. Because he seemed to have the skills. And so everybody did think he had the skills. Pete, Dak.
100%.
I never talked about him because here's the thing with Brett and I. We don't get overly worked up about any young players. You can go other places to get that kind of worked up about young players. Brett and I have been here and doing this show since 2011 with a break, 7-year break in between.
Hey, I'll be happy to come back, a year or two from now and say, hey, Tom Bogert, you were right. Kevin Sullivan is a wonder kid.
Yeah,
we've been burned too many times.
Listen, we've been burned so many times since 2011 with all kinds of players. We could go through the list with you. Some of you won't know it because you've been around that long. Some of you will who have been. Listen, we've been burned, people. Burned by incredible prospects. People that we could go through a list. We're not going to do it again. We've done it before on the show.
Daniel's got it right. Here's one of them.
Rankin. Yeah, that was a good
Rankin, man. He got 2 knee injuries.
Injuries. Yep.
That was rough, man. That was rough.
My guy, Salam,
yeah.
Right? I have never thrown down for a player, ever, as much as I threw down for Gideon Zalalem. I thought he was going to be the bee's knees, CAM we always had dreamed of. But then we got the injuries. Gone goes that guy.
Well, you had Perez, who was over at Fiorentina. You had Fafa Picoult, who was
I always thought Perez was too much of a midget.
That's fair. That's I'm not disagreeing on that. But you had him vying for a Serie A side.
Mm-hmm.
In game day 18s, never really played much. Fafa played some for Cagliari, but beside that. But this is the point. Then all of a sudden, it's like Fafa comes back. He plays for MLS for a couple of seasons, gets like a call up, and then down to USL. And it's not saying anything. I'm not disparaging him as a player by any means, but I'm using him as an example that over the course of our history of a federation, we've had many players vying for spots in Europe that don't amount to a hill of beans.
Yep.
So it's easier at this point to not get super hyped about randos that are finding themselves in Man City's academy system. Not using Kevin Sullivan as an example here, but just randomly. That we've had people in Chelsea, Leicester, etc. That we're sitting like, oh my God, man, this kid's going to get a chance. And all of a sudden we're like, where the hell did he go?
It's okay to cover them.
Yeah.
It's okay to recognize that they're there. But I think the amount of button pushing people do about like, this is the next great kid. Like, I'm not even doing that. I'm not doing that ever again.
There's a reason why Derek spent time out of his busy day to come up with this video.
Where are they now?
Where are they?
Where are they now? Where are they now, Derek?
What are they doing? I mean, most of them they're not doing much. They're in the USL. Go check out that league. All right. League One. That's where a lot of them are. All right. Let's move on. That was
we're still in the transfer news segment because I got sidetracked with one of our main topics there.
Okay. Leipzig has made an attempt to sign Tim Weah in the last few hours, but neither Juventus or Weah are considering a transfer. That's a really weird one. No, they're not giving up Tim Weah. He's started to play more and more recently. He has a little bit of a knock right now, but I don't see that's
minimum, he's an off the bench offensive threat for Juve. Why would they look to offload that?
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
No. If anything, they're going to try to offload Weston McKennie again.
just to keep the trend going.
Got to keep that trend running. Yeah.
Might as well.
Okay. Well, I already covered that. Hold on. There we go. Transfer news.
Ross County.
Yeah.
Are delighted to confirm the signing of American Central defender Jonathan Tompkinson on loan from Norwich City until the end of the season. Well, good for him. Ross County are in League One. League One?
Let's find out. Ross County FC.
Or is it League Two?
It's the Scottish Premier League.
Oh, my God. That's right. That's right. That's right, because Celtic just played Ross County, dumbass. Yeah. Ross County. Yeah. Well,
in fairness, Ross County is a very English term. Sounds like.
Yeah. Put on a kilt and get ready to go play some soccer. That's what I
didn't hear the accent in there. Ross, there's no rolling of the R. I know that's more of a Spanish thing, but Scots do it too.
I once farted in Ross County. Let's see. Yeah. You know what that means when I say I farted?
Farted, yeah, he farted.
Yes. That's how the Scottish say fart.
So here's apparently a Dual Nap Panic. I forgot to move over to the Dual Nap Panic segment. I'm going to replay the video, but bam! We already covered this guy.
Yeah, fuck it.
We already covered Con.
I mean, the chances of him playing for us are just
Dual Nap Panic.
Smaller than some person's penises.
Here's even a smaller chance, but go ahead.
Could there be a Vietnamese American suiting up for Vietnam soon? Lee Nguyen never played for Vietnam.
Whoa, that's Lee Nguyen.
Lee Nguyen, sorry, you're right. Never played for Vietnam as he was captained for U.S. national team early. But now, there is Kyle Colonna. What the fuck?
Kelowna, isn't that where you scoop up your own poop and you send it off to places?
No, but still, yeah. Kyle Colonna. All right. Born in California, the American father and Vietnamese mother, Kyle Colonna now plays for Hanoi SC in Vietnam. Well, fine. Who gives a shit? Go. Do it. I wish him the best. I hope he absolutely blows the balls off of Japan in qualifying coming up in years to come.
Kick the shit out of Asia.
Kick the shit out of Hong Kong. Do it. Yep. All right. Kyle Colonna.
Our favorite Dortmund blog.
You know what?
That there was a meeting between in Düsseldorf.
This guy. It just amazes me that anybody takes anything this dude posts seriously at this point. He has been wrong so many times. This guy is wrong so much he doesn't know his asshole from his dick. All right? This BVB, and yet tons of reports and posts and shit have come from this fucking thing. And he's quoting some bullshit paper in Italy. All right?
Yeah.
A bullshit paper. This is the same guy who a year ago said Reyna has no future with BVB. He will never play for the team again. He was so fucking wrong then. And he's been wrong about so much shit. Like how he can call himself the BVB news blog at this point is fucking beyond me. It's really beyond me. It's and the fact that anybody responds to this as if this guy knows dick squat is amazing.
But here's the problem, Derek. Here's the problem. What is he reporting here? Mind you, he's reporting from a third party here. Is that there was a meeting taken between
there's a meeting in Düsseldorf,
Reyna's agents and AC Milan. But how can we prove him wrong?
We can't.
If Reyna doesn't sign with AC Milan, we can't sit there and say, see, you're wrong, because he doesn't necessarily say that Reyna's signing with AC Milan. He just says, hey, there's a conversation being had. So
they happen all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, and this is the second time we've heard this in the past couple months.
Yes.
I feel like when there's smoke, there's fire generally. That I'm sure.
But this is smoke coming after. This is smoke coming out of. I can't remember the Italian paper.
Oh,
they're full of shit usually.
Okay,
it's the Italian paper that he's quoting, and he is the basis. This guy, and the Italian paper for all the other reports you're seeing on this.
The Sky Reporter.
Doesn't matter. The Sky Reporter got it from. Don't know the Italian paper. And that Italian paper, I had it earlier. I should have copied it and sent it to you. They're the ones that are usually full of shit. Okay? That's all I'm saying. And the fact that these guys are using this as a basis for their reporting.
It's spreading like wildfire at this point. It is all over the place. So, again, I'm not saying that Gio's agents and AC Milan haven't sat down and talked.
They do all this all the time.
Sure. Whether something comes from it, we'll see in the future, I guess. But at this point, I'm still going to be surprised if anything happens in this winter window.
So they're going to pay $15 million for Reyna, a guy who's been injured 50% of his time at Dortmund?
It's a chance. It's a gamble at that point. So maybe AC is looking at this as a gamble.
They don't have $15 million to splurge on a player that's going to be injured. So let's start there. Right?
That's very fair. I'm gonna kind of, I don't want to say devil's advocate. It's not really devil's advocate, but I'm gonna pull something out of my butt. How about that?
Yeah, I love it. Can I sniff it first?
You wouldn't want to. Don't worry about that. So AC Milan could look at this and say, "Wow, we've seen some potential from this kid. He's done some good things in the past. He's been injured a lot. I understand, but here in Milan, we have the best injury preventers, medical staff in the world. I heard Dortmund's medical staff sucks donkey dick.
They're proving that.
Maybe we can spend the $15 million, and if he plays well, we can bounce his market value up to 20, 25 plus. I mean, you saw, they bought Pulisic for 18, and his market value bounced up to 50 in that time period. So who knows? Maybe it's worth a gamble here. And given the American market, we could get that many more people really interested in us, and they could be looking at us two folds, really.
I heard the number from Dortmund was 15.
Yeah, no, I've heard that. We've talked about this,
and that ain't happening. That's not happening with AC Milan. They're not spent, and this is not going to be a loan. Dortmund are not looking for a fucking loan. So people out there who think this is going to be a loan, it's not going to be a loan. They are not interested. And Dortmund, by the way, if you haven't noticed, sucks dick this season. They are currently 10th in the table. That's like the worst Dortmund has been in fairness to Reyna there, he really hasn't been playing all that much this season, so that can't be a counter against his ability. He goes in, he starts scoring goals. He goes in and scores. He gets this this weekend, he gets 34 minutes?
Something like that.
Something around there, 30 minutes, scores. Almost
15 minutes in, he scores his goal. Yeah.
Should have had an assist as well.
Yep.
I mean, is he out there crushing tackles and blowing guys? No, that's not what he does.
Somebody.
I didn't mean blowing guys away. I didn't finish that.
He's getting down on his knees and everything, man. So somebody had mentioned earlier that Tact had mentioned Gio's body language, and it's bad.
Oh, come on, Tact.
And yeah, you look at him when he goes in there, and he's the same guy he's always been at Dortmund.
They all know his body language and shit. The coaches don't give a shit. Sahin doesn't give a fuck about that. We love you, brother, but come on with that. Like, don't even brew that, because people will take what you just said there and run with it and make up some more crazy stories about all his teammates hate him too, which that one dumbass did, which is absolutely untrue. His teammates love him. He's best friends with most of his ex-teammates. In fact, one of his ex-teammates considers him to be his best friend.
Two of his ex.
Holland,
yeah,
and Bellingham love Gio Reyna. Absolutely. So this whole idea that players don't like him is just fucking jerk off fest. And the fact that coaches don't realize his talent because he's so frumpy. Okay, yeah, he could be a bit emotive. So the fuck what? Lots of players are.
It's funny. It's funny because every time they talk about like his he's got attitude issues, and he's looking at like his things that happened at Dortmund and stuff like that. Like they always bring up the issue he had with what's his Hummels after that Champions League match. And they're walking away after the game, and they're like, da, 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 da. I'm like, yeah, it looks like two teammates who just got done losing a match.
Mm-hmm.
You know, talking about the match, like, hey, you could have run harder to that ball. Dude, leave me alone, man. Come on.
How many games did you play where after the game where you just had a rough game, you're like, all right, as you're walking off with a dude, you're like, fuck, man, dude, you got to pass me the fucking ball. Dude. When I'm down on this side, running on the – yeah, it happens all the time.
Dude, we were playing an indoor season in high school, like 16, 17 years old. It's indoor. Nobody cares about indoor. It's just, you know, to continue playing the sport and everything like that, whatever. And we are getting beat by this team. And it's a bunch of high school kids from my high school and everything like that. And getting water, I'm yelling at them. I'm like, guys, you got to get your asses out of your heads. And when I didn't realize I said it like that, and people afterwards are like, I can't believe you said it like that. I'm like, what'd I say?
Yep.
Get your asses out of your heads.
Listen, we had a guy named David Ward on my team that went to the state finals, and if you were fucking playing up, he was on your fucking in your face.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, and it doesn't mean that David Ward didn't like John Drosses, right? He liked John.
These are totally made up names that I can't believe you're coming up with on the spot.
Actually, awesome. They're both real people. But anyhow,
I know, I'm trying to cover your ass on this front there.
What are they going to do? They're going to fucking look up John Drosses and go track him?
Maybe. Hey, Derek's talking a lot of trash about you on his podcast.
I'm just saying, David Ward, our center midfielder, would call people out. And it's just the truth, period. And that was after the game too. Hey, yeah, we may have won 2-1, but we should have won 4-1. And here's what, you fucked up. Like, that happens all the time. So anyhow, this whole idea about Reyna being a horrible teammate, coaches don't like him. Tact, don't build, don't give people any fodder about, I get it. You think I watched that game. I didn't see any negative body, whatever, in that game.
Well, let's take what Sahin says here about Reyna. Says the problem is in the first half of the season he was injured. Now he's getting in some rhythm. He's showing us that he wants to be in the first 11, and it's certainly an option for Friday.
Oh yeah, so trade him AC Milan, transfer him to AC Milan, who are definitely willing to pay $15 million fucking dollars for him. Listen, everybody can continue on this crap dream that this BVB news blog guy does. This guy is more wrong than like anybody I know. Well, okay, that's not true. There are guys that are way more wrong than him, but he's been wrong too often to take this guy and the Italian papers, who's been wrong constantly, that Italian paper, which I wish I would have written down, to take them at their word. Like, Italian papers and their news is about as good as reading The Sun in fucking England or any of the other major outlets in England. It's 90% fucking bullshit. So you guys want to live on that? You go do that. We have been right about Reyna on this show the whole fucking time. We have told you what's going to go down. We are the only place, actually, where you've actually got legit fucking information about Gio Reyna, his future, and what's going to happen with him once he gets healthy. Everybody else had already counted him out. Everyone, even our friends, have counted him out and said he needs to go. We were the only ones who were right. We're the only ones telling you he's going to play as soon as he got healthy. And look what he's doing. And now they're talking about, oh, wow, shit. They're playing so shitty, they might as well start Reyna and some of the young guys now, because that team is playing like fucking dick. Dortmund suck. Period.
Yeah. In his last game, I think he had like 100% passing rate too.
Yes. If you really want to know what's going on with Reyna, come watch this show, because everybody else ain't getting it right. We've been getting it right.
It's funny. I saw on Twitter earlier. I don't know the guy who posted it, but I saw a couple other people who I do recognize posted talking about it. But they're like the original post was like, I don't see a lot of people talking about this, and it's disheartening in a sense. But Gio's career and his performances are just a downward spiral at this point.
What?
I was like, I mean, he's not really getting a shit ton of playing time, yes, but he's working his way to that point, and maybe working his way to a transfer in the summer. But yeah, it's he's not starting every game. But I mean, let's calm the fuck down. Let's calm our tits.
Calm the fucking tits down. He's playing. Maybe he's not starting every game, but he's gotten a few starts. So let's fucking calm the fucking down. I just don't understand this. Like, he just got back from injury last month. Can we calm the fuck down and be realistic about what Dortmund wants out of this? You know what they really want? Money. And they're not going to get that 15 fucking million from AC Milan. And if they do, I will fucking suck my own dick on this show.
Well, I'll say if Gio keeps coming in and keeps scoring goals, at 50 mil might come. But Bmar says Dortmund has 3 games in 7 days. They kind of need to rotate. That's very true.
They do. And this whole thing, when Gio was at Nottingham Forest, American fans trashed the manager, Nuno, claiming he was clueless and terrible at his job. Clearly, that's not the case. Listen, we didn't trash Nuno on this show. We didn't. We said there are real reasons for that.
Yeah. Well, and as I mentioned here, I go, well, Forest fans are questioning it too. I really have. I watched a number of Forest podcasts, some of the bigger fan podcasts.
Yeah,
and each week, every single one of them, there wasn't a single one that was second guessing it, but they were all sitting there going like, Gio has Champions League experience. Why is he not getting an opportunity here?
Play him. And we wanted that too. But at the same time, they were fighting relegation.
Yeah.
Any team fighting relegation, so that was a bad choice by his agent and Reyna to go there. They're going to play the guys who the consequences are. They're going to lose their salary. They're going to be demoted to the fucking second division. And so they're going to be in it 110%. Balls out. And not to mention the best position that Reyna plays was also the best player of Nottingham Forest.
As we mentioned this many times, I've posted on Twitter a number of times, with Nuno's setup, Gio was never fitted to be a winger in that system, and his only true spot was being challenged by Morgan Gibbs White.
The great thing is, even in his short time there, he had to, when he did play, and he played minutes like that game versus Fulham, was awesome. He had to play defense for 30 fucking minutes straight, and he did a great job. It taught him some discipline. It made him have to do things he had never done before. Sit back in a block and play fucking defense. So you can take something from that if you're Reyna and learn from it, right? So, listen, Reyna, I mean, outside of injuries, you got to take the injuries into account, obviously. If the injuries keep happening, his career is going to be a mess. If he can get healthy and stay healthy this season, he's going to get more. And we said this already. We said it, and we were the only ones who were correct about it. He's going to play. He's going to start some games. We said all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that Dortmund's plan was to rebuild his transfer value. The board's plan. That's exactly what's happened so far. That's exactly why they hired Sahin and fired fucking Terzic. We told you about all the young players that lost transfer value under Terzic. That's exactly what's happening. And this isn't so I can fucking suck my own nutsack. I'm saying it because no one else has got it right. No one. Not even our friends.
Yeah.
And we love Pete and Tack. They've been wrong. Absolutely wrong about fucking Reyna so far. About in this specific issue. We were right. No one
about the transfer. I mean, I think obviously Tact was a little quicker to pull the trigger on the injury prone aspect, and we've come to, okay, but yeah. So, here's one of the examples I was kind of mentioning earlier. This guy says Gio's general play has been considerably worse than last season, bar the Barca game. Although I thought his game against Barca was probably his weaker performance, quite frankly. But he played a lot of defense that game, but whatever. And it's worrisome. No one seems to care because he's scoring goals.
I don't think his performances have been that bad.
I think his performances have been fine with Dortmund when they're actually playing matches. He's been fine.
It's not like he's making a bunch of dumb fucking mistakes.
Yeah.
It's just like Dortmund's been bad. So he's playing on a team that's clueless right now.
He's still doing Gio stuff, which is moving the ball around.
And at least, besides the other clueless fuckers on his team, outside of Gittins, who's played really well this season, and maybe a handful of others who've had kind of a roller coaster season. Mm-hmm. The defense has been horrible, but like when he plays, he scores. Like that's all you can ask. That's what you are asking in the end. When you get the opportunity, you put that fucker in the back of the net. And that's what he's been doing recently. And I just think he's going to start here coming up soon. And I don't think he's going to AC Milan. And I think
maybe, what about the summer? Do you think the summer possibility?
Yeah. I mean, if they're talking about summer, sure. Then AC Milan's coming into that meeting saying, well, we want to see if you want 15 million, he's got to produce the rest of the season. If it's for this winter break, that's insane.
That'll be one of the higher winter break transfers. It's not MLS based.
Especially since AC Milan's also going after Rashford, apparently, and other players. Like, okay, well, not that Rashford is the same player as Reyna. They're not. They wouldn't play the same position. Do they need offense? Sure. But, how much money does AC Milan have to spend? Like, not a ton. Juventus is certainly more handicapped than AC Milan when it comes to spending. Mm-hmm. Could they spend 15 million? Sure. Is that up from the $12 million value of Reyna? Yeah. Are Dortmund asking for more, 3 million more than his current market value? Sure they are. I just don't think AC Milan's going to do it. I just don't.
No. Well, as Eldon mentions here, who is a listener of the show, he says, in other news, Erling Haaland sucks aside from scoring 40 times a season. And the funny thing is that this was taken as a serious comment. Because he goes, I'm generally aware of how little football knowledge my fellow Americans can possess, but you, sir, have exceeded my expectations.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What did he needed to put a wink
slash S or something?
Wink.
Yeah.
I mean, dude.
It's clear and obvious. Come on, man. My man.
Yeah. When he plays, he scores. When he plays, he contributes. That's Gio Reyna when he's healthy. So I think, again, we're going to continue to see more of him playing. This whole idea he's going in the winter, horrible. The whole idea everybody's telling him to leave still, it means to me they're not paying attention. And we've been trying to fucking tell people, pay attention to this. The board, pay attention to what the board, to pay attention to why they fired Terzic, pay attention to why Sahin was hired, pay attention to the fact that a lot more of the younger players are getting more playing time now than they did under Terzic. Like, I don't know what else we could do except
we can only say we're right so many times, right?
Right. You fly a plane over the United States with a flag out back that says Reyna's staying at Dortmund. He's gonna play.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, I'm going to let you hit the Yanks Abroad real quick. I'm going to go to the bathroom. So
God, I need to go to the bathroom. All right. Tuesday, Jedi, 90 minutes in a loss, 2 assists. Weren't really assists, but, I mean, they count. He's got 9 for the season. There are only 2 guys in the Premier League with more assists than Jedi. But, Jedi's still flawed. He's still flawed. He still has these problems. He's not good in tight situations. He's getting a lot better in those. I won't. I know. I watch every fucking Fulham game. I know exactly what his flaws are. And they went from this to this in the last 2 seasons. All right. Tyler Adams, 90 minutes. What are you going to say? Tyler Adams was really good in this game. He's really good. And he's shown that when healthy, he's a great 90-minute player. I was surprised he went 90. I thought they would take him off in like the 75th because he's just coming back from a slight, whatever, injury. Not injury, but whatever, fatigue. Kind of like the Pulisic thing. And then we saw Akinmoni there on the bench for Bournemouth in that game. Didn't get to play. The fact that he's sniffing the bench is great. At his age, with his lack of experience, they must think something of him, or else they wouldn't even bother putting him on the bench. So that's good news. Ethan Horvath had a great cup thing. Now back to regular season in the 18. Didn't play. Not a shocker. Gio Reyna, 30 minutes, a goal in that loss. Cole Campbell is in the 18, didn't play, but Dortmund are awful. They're just fucking awful, which is why a lot of Dortmund fans were posting today. Please take Brandt. We want to keep Reyna. Please just take Brandt. Just take him. In fact, take a bunch of our fucking players because they suck. Now, I understand why they feel that way because Dortmund's been fucking atrocious this season. But I think most people would still consider Brandt the better player. I'm not really sure Brandt is cut out to be the field general on that team. I don't know. Just my opinion. It doesn't look like he's that comfortable with that fucking responsibility. But, all right. Nathaniel Brown, 72 minutes and a win. Yeah. Hey, Poach. If you haven't done it already, time to call Nathaniel Brown. It's time to give that brother a ring. Timothy Chandler did not dress. This is like the 3rd game in a row. Timothy Chandler did not dress for Frankfurt. I think he's leaving. That's what I hear through the grapevine. He's leaving. He's going somewhere else. 2 Bundesliga team. Joe Scally, 81 minutes in a fucking horrific loss to Wolfsburg. He wasn't good. The whole fucking team sucked. They lost, 5-1? I don't even remember the score.
I think so, yeah.
I stopped watching it, whatever it was. It was just horrible. Horrible game.
My beer is a slushy right now.
You put it in the freezer.
No, it was outside.
Oh, the garage.
Preseason room. Yeah, so it's slushed up.
It's getting cold out there. It's getting cold outside, so take off all your clothes. Wait, no.
It's getting cold outside.
It's getting hot in here. My bad. Brady's still injured, by the way. God knows. I thought he had a minor injury. It turns out somebody cut his left testicle off. I mean, I don't know. It's got to be something horrible because this guy has been injured forever.
Well, I mean, since June. So.
I mean, but we didn't get any reports about how it was this bad. Yeah. And it is this bad. Pulisic, 45 in a win. But, I love that post by that dude. It's like, well, if it's just a muscle injury, why didn't he stay on the field? Did you see that one?
Well, I'm glad he's not injured.
He is injured, dumbass.
But I brought this up on Monday. Wait, when did the injury occur? It happened this weekend, right?
Yes. It happened on Tuesday.
Wow. No, I thought we brought it up on Monday's show.
No, Tuesday. This is when this happened. Pulisic went down. He called to be taken off. He said, I'm injured. He got hit in the back of the fucking right calf. He said, take me off, coach. They took him off. But this guy posted, well, I'm glad it's not an injury. I wonder why he was taken off for muscle fatigue. You fucking idiot. Muscle fatigue is a fucking injury. It's called the muscles aren't working anymore because they're so fatigued.
So here's what I wrote about. I go, because it's Otaku says no injury for Pulisic. It's only muscle fatigue. And I go, well, that's good, I guess. Though I can't help but think that a muscle fatigue of itself is in fact an injury.
I sent you the moron guy. Do you not have the moron guy I sent you?
Maybe.
I sent you the post by the idiot. This
I'll
guy doesn't apparently know that a muscle fatigue is an injury to the muscle, and thus you must be taking off for it. You can't play with muscle fatigue. Muscle fatigue means the muscle there's stress. Not positive why he came off then. Glad he isn't injured. Oh, sorry, U.S. men's national team thoughts. But you blocked me anyhow, so it doesn't matter. Glad he isn't injured, but how odd how quickly they called for the sub if it wasn't an injury. Dude, did you watch the game? Pulisic thought it was a serious injury. He
immediately grabbed his hammy, tried to run again, and then immediately sat down and called himself off.
He thought it was serious. He was wrong. It ended up being just muscle injury. But Pulisic thought it isn't, the coach pulling him off or anything. Okay? He got called. They called for the sub because Pulisic called for the sub. Jesus fucking Christ. Watch the game. Musa, 45 minutes. Oh, shots fired at Stone Mountain Park in Georgia. Man shoots himself. All right. Somebody went up to Stone Mountain, Georgia and started shooting motherfuckers, and now he shot himself. There you go. And then we haven't had a resolution to the bikers, the dirt bikers.
The bikers of LA or whatever?
The 30 bikers of LA, yeah. Who are just like driving aimlessly around. Yeah. All right, McKennie, 90 minutes in an assist in that tie. I thought McKennie was fantastic, and he played 3 different positions in that game. They kept shifting him around. They started him in a false 9. I mean,
they better put a fucking statue of him outside of the stadium soon.
They won't. They won't. Balogun is injured. Tillman, 30 minutes and a goal. Pepe, 90 minutes and 2 goals for PSV. In that win, it was Pepe and Tillman that brought that team back. Ledesma had a very decent 80 minutes as well. We could be seeing Dest on that team soon. Exciting. Zach Booth played 13 in that game, by the way, versus. So you were thinking they're only the American players on PSV in that game. No, there were 2 other Americans playing that game for Excelsior. Zach Booth played 13 minutes of them, and Keith Perry came in for 6 in that loss for Excelsior.
Are we still vying for him to play for the U.S.?
No, nobody wants Keith Perry. The Dutch don't. We don't.
He's been injured for like 3 seasons.
That dude is an injury machine. Go on Transfer Market if you're interested, people, and look at Keith Perry's fucking injury history. It's atrocious. It's atrocious. All right. CCV, 90 minutes and an own goal. He scored a goal, but it was on his own team for Celtic. And that was in a tie. Trusty went 90. And if I'm not wrong, Brett, and I could be, that was against Ross County.
Ooh.
So it all comes around.
Tompkinson, yeah.
It all comes around again. Could have been someone else, but I think it was against Ross County. On Wednesday, Chris Richards went 90 minutes in a win. Listen, Chris had, I watched this game, a moment where I'm like, you just fucked that shit up. But the rest of the game, solid. Very solid. Matt Turner in the 18 rode the Horvath. James Sands, 9 minutes for St. Pauli. Henri Chase didn't dress. I don't know. He wasn't on the injury list. So what the fuck's up with that? I don't know. I'll keep a tab on that. Leonard Maloney did not dress for obvious reasons for Heidenheim because he's headed to Mainz, all reports say.
He's one step away, is what the reports are saying.
Yeah, one step. You know the weirdest thing? You go back like 5 shows. I said, if I were Maloney, I'd go to a team like mine's.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much I accidentally get right on this show. And that was just a guess. I was just shooting the shit.
BMR wants to know why we're updating them on Keek Peary.
For shits and giggles, BMR.
Because Soto for so long.
So many people were like, Keek Peary, Keek Peary, Keek Peary, Keek Peary, Keek Peary. Oh.
Here's his injury history, by the way, Derek.
Oh, my God.
516 days. It's a year and a half.
Yep.
Here's almost another year. Here's, a third of a year. I mean, the guy is legitimately injured all the fucking time.
Yep. Johnny says, Derek, I hope Timothy Chandler has his way with you. How do you know he hasn't already? He is a friend of the family.
Yeah.
Right?
I think he's Derek's new dad.
He is a friend of the family. Like, we've stayed in touch over the years. So, like, that's true. That's a true thing. All right. Anyhow, where were we? Shane Sands, Henri Letterman. Kawhi. Nope. Noah Kai Brant Banks. 15 minutes for Augsburg. This is something that people should be whipping out the lube about and slightly jerking. Don't get too aggressive yet. But this is a center back. Okay? A center back.
Real quick. Isn't Derek old enough to be his dad?
Who?
Chandler. Because I said he's going to be Derek's new dad.
Yeah, no, he's younger than me by a long shot, folks. I am old enough to be his dad. The fact is, that if you don't know the history of the show,
I'm old enough to be his older brother.
My mom and Timmy formed a sort of friendship when my mom was the translator for Brian Schroeder for interviews with Timmy Chandler, because Timmy Chandler didn't feel comfortable doing interviews in English. So my mom was the translator for Brian Schroeder during those reports in 2011? 2012?
Something like that, yeah.
Somewhere around there. So we got to know Timmy. All right. My family did. Anyhow, regardless, don't ever call me a Timmy hater. My family loves Timmy Chandler. Okay. We love Timmy.
Unfortunately, they couldn't fly him out for the interview because he doesn't like flying.
No, he hates flying. Like that was some of the inside information we provided that probably we shouldn't have at the time, because that wasn't like officially in the interview, right? But he used to talk about how much he hated flying.
Yeah,
fucking hates flying. He has a fear of flying. He hates flying.
Well, that's something offensive or anything like that. He's just like, hey, I don't like flying.
Look at how fucking Johnny goes to totally being an unoriginal motherfucker. Your mom sucked Timmy Chandler's dick. Dude, that's so cliche. Yeah, she sucked his dick. She deep-throated that shit for hours until he fucking came down her fucking throat. All right? And my dad filmed it. All right? Are you happy? They made a cock video. It's somewhere on fucking xvideos.com. All right, look it up, Larry. Look it up, Larry.
It's on Pornhub. You're just never going to be able to see it because they've blocked it on a number of states.
You got to give your fucking driver's license to get on there. Larry, come on, man. Get original. All right. We love you, though. P-Fock went 90 in that game versus Noah Kai Banks, by the way. And, I watched the game, so I could be fair about my criticism. I think P-Fock did okay. I want to be really fair. He doesn't get much to work with. He is a lonely island up there up top. He really is. It's not fair to him.
And that's again, when people say, like, oh, this insert striker here is not scoring, that means he's not good. I'm like, oh, my God.
Poor P-Fock. I watched that game. You got nothing, dude.
I'm like, it speaks to a person who clearly has never really played striker.
Exactly.
I mean, yes, I understand the concept of being a striker and scoring goals. It's part of your gig. But there's so many other things you have to do.
Right.
And some formations, some setups and stuff like that rely on you being more of a support than an actual finisher in the end. We saw Berhalter for 6 fucking years.
Yeah, exactly. All right, for the 242 of you here now, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma. We do love your sister, is not as much as you do, but we do love her.
Pretty close.
Tanner Tessman, as we mentioned earlier, was lucky not to play in that French Cup game with Lyon, where they lost to a 5th division team made of cobblers, baristas,
blacksmiths.
There was an architect on the team, a blacksmith. Yeah, ding, ding, ding. There was a couple waiters, bartender guys, like playing on the team. They all have normal jobs. It's the 5th division fucking French team.
I think there's even a cashier for McDonald's working there or playing there.
It's McDonald's to you in France. And they have, it's the Royale?
Royale with cheese.
The Royale with cheese, not the Big Mac. All right, so that lame-ass team beat Lyon in the French Cup. And it's not like Lyon didn't play some pretty good players in that game. It's totally embarrassing. An accountant played the 9. A librarian. Yeah, I saw a crazy list of their jobs today. I'm like, I don't know which ones to believe, honestly, but I do believe
at that point, it all makes sense.
They all have normal jobs, and they beat Lyon. That's fucking crazy, dude. Good for them. I'm rooting for them. Like, can we look up what team that was, Brett, real quick? Because Tack said he couldn't pronounce their name, and I think I can, and I want to give it a go. So you look that up, and I'm going to continue.
Here you
go.
Oh. Let me pull it up right here.
Okay. Let me see. Can you blow that up a little? I can't really see. Okay. The first part of it, before the slashes, Bourgogne. It's very simple. Bourgogne. Like, this is a long time name in France, by the way. I think one of the Bourgogne family members fought in the Battle of Agincourt. Okay. And the second one is that Jallieu? Is that LL or is there an I in there?
2 L's and an I.
Oh, Jallieu. Bourgogne Jallieu. This is not complicated, Tact. Give me a call, brother. We'll work this out.
Tact's like innocence. I might have gotten Bourgogne right, but I mean, I would have really emphasized Bourgogne.
Bourgogne Jallieu. So
then Jallieu, I probably would have butchered.
Well, it took him 2 years. It took him 2 years to figure out how to say Mönchengladbach.
He still doesn't. I mean, he still says,
but to be tax credit, I couldn't pronounce half Portuguese shit. Like, that shit's hard, right? So give him credit there. All right, Caleb Wiley.
You gotta make when you're speaking Portuguese and Spanish, you gotta make the R's sound like there's like 7 of them.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Brenner says tax not French. I get that, but he said he's the most Frenchiest French guy that ever Frenched it. Remember, he says that on the show. So,
well, thank goodness Pete didn't try to mention it because he claims that you are French too.
I know he does it on purpose. I know he does it on purpose. He told me he does it on purpose. It's like Rich. It's like Rich. It's like Richie. Yeah, always.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know why.
Well, way to play the long game there.
And there is a possibility that my people did. My dad just took the 23andMe, and he'll get the report back soon. I can almost guarantee you that we're Norman French. Mm-hmm. Like the Normans, obviously, in William the Conqueror invaded England, won the battle, and became king of England. So that was the beginning mix of French and English in it. We're not going to get into that. All right. Caleb Wiley still injured. Still has that.
You're at least 6% Neanderthal.
I am not, Brett. Quit saying that. Definitely less than 2%. Nobody has more than 2%, but we will find out.
I thought it was more than 4. I thought 4 was hype.
I didn't have any in mine. So if my dad has 2%, then mine was a lie. All right. All right. So here we go. Paxton.
Derek, it's all lies just so the government can get your DNA.
Probably.
Yeah.
23andMe in league with the government, probably.
Probably.
Paxton Aronson, 90 minutes in this. Again, listen. Nobody's more important to Utrecht than Paxton Aronson. I can't say that again. I've watched every Utrecht game I can possibly watch this season, and this motherfucker is great. He's a great player. Listen, yes, it's an Eredivisie. I get it. But boy, is he good. He's just really good. Defense, offense, midfield.
What he's going to pick up from there? What he's going to pick up from there is confidence, and then he's going to move on from the Eredivisie. He's going to move on from Utrecht. I think he's still at Berlin at this point, but
I think he's going to play somewhere in the Bundesliga next season.
Assuming Berlin remains in the Bundesliga.
No, Frankfurt.
Oh, Frankfurt. You're right. Never mind.
So Frankfurt are loaded, but they're going to lose some players. Right? They always do. They lose their best every season. So we'll see. And then we got Cardoso, 90 minutes lost to Barcelona. It was the whole team was trash. They were garbage, but they're playing the best team in the world right now, in my opinion, Barcelona.
I mean, where's Betis at this point?
They're not bad, but
no.
They're not Barcelona.
I thought they had fallen into the second half or the bottom half.
Barcelona are making fucking Madrid look like goons.
Well, they just smoked them, yes.
So it's not surprising they made Betis look like goons.
Yeah.
So not a shocker. The great news was the coaching was the second hand keeper. He was on the fucking roll.
Betis is currently in 10th.
Yeah, and they're mid-table. So they're not a horrible team. The other thing is the coaching was there. He got to ride Pine. He got to Horvath it for 90. That's good.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it Horvathing it if you're Horvathing it on Barcelona at that point, right?
Right. No.
That's an acceptable thing to Horvath.
That's why it's important, even if it's a cup game. And then EPP. There was an EPP sighting at Panathinaikos. He went 45 in a tie.
Oh, I assumed it was on the Kiss cam.
I thought you just said it. I just jizzed in my pants.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh, EPP got minutes.
Hey, real quick before we leave,
Weird things have happened.
Look up Richie Origins. Richie Origins coat of arms.
Yeah, I think Beam already had it. He said, nope. Yeah, Derek is related to some French nobleman that suppressed rebellions, isn't he?
Okay, you don't need to look it up. We'll take that on another show. All right, we want to thank you all.
Whoa! We haven't talked anything yet. Do you see my tabs still up here? Look at these tabs.
I got to
see these tabs.
Well, you start the new one on your own. I'll be back.
You're a knight, you French noble fuck. Swear to God, always trying to close out early. That's not to say he doesn't come early, I guess, but it's his own front. So we're going to be talking about some U.S. men's national team stuff here, and then we're going to go over starting 11 come Saturday, what we think might happen. Obviously, we're going to wait for Derek to come here, so I'm just going to look at the chat, see if there's anything that's coming up here. Yeah. Miguel says, hey, the red card penalty right there for Derek. I'm assuming that's what he meant by that. Yeah. Relax, Derek. You got a red card. He is trying to dip on us. I mean, seriously, we're like 2 hours and 20 minutes in, and he's like, I gotta go. I'm like, bro, come on. Chill. Just chill. Let's see. Is there anything I can really talk about this before we get back? I want to see all this stuff. Oh, perfect timing. Look, I can hear him coming right now.
All right, I'm back. All right, you got that one out of the way.
You're sitting there in the background going, well, perfect timing. I hear Derek coming right now.
Man, it felt good to get that done. That was a lot of urine. All right.
Yeah. So have you seen this video yet?
Yep, have.
We got Pochettino coming up to take a shot.
Yep.
outside of the foot, around the wall. Womp, womp, womp.
Pretty nasty, but you and I could do that too. Give us enough tries.
Well, Derek, somebody pointed this out to me. He shot that just outside the 6.
I know. That's a chip shot, for Christ's sake. Come on.
I'm hoping you put that away. Come on, my man. I mean, I know it's outside the foot and stuff. I mean, I feel like I could do that too. But you know what? Whatever. Here's what I said about the shot. Poach puts that shot away. And he starts walking off, as you see here. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. What do you think Poach just said to Freese? It's Matt Freese, right? Yeah.
I think it's Freese, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think Poach just said?
I don't know.
And now you know why you won't be starting on Saturday.
No, that's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. All right. Derek, did you hear some news? Some team president in Syria got fired because he got a dick growth surgery.
Okay, I'll cover this right now.
AC Milan wants to hire him. That is some weird shit, King Kello.
You haven't heard about this?
No.
The Falconeer from Lazio got a prosthetic dick enhancement.
Okay.
That he showed off somewhere. I'm not sure where. I forgot where it was, the details.
When you say prosthetic, that means he
showed it up on social media.
Is that like some fake shit on top of his penis?
It was like, let me
like, how do you sew rubber onto?
Hang on, I think Jack Pineda sent it this way.
I got it from Larry, but it was blurred, and Larry gave me no context. So I was like, what? What? Huh?
There was a photo that went with this somewhere. I don't know, but this is thanks to Jack Pineda. But Lazio have fired the club's falconer, Juan Bernabe.
Falconer.
Falconer.
He's a falconer.
After he underwent penile implant surgery and shared the results on social media.
I saw the photo of him laying down with his penis extension.
I don't know how real the picture I saw was, because the picture where they showed the extension looked like just like a purple dildo. I'm like, that can't be right.
I just don't understand it. So you got a small penis and you extend it with a piece of plastic. Can't you just put...
Maybe he just always wants to rock hard. You don't know. Maybe he has PhD and he's always just wants to rock hard a little bit bigger.
There's something more to the story, Brett, that we're missing.
Maybe the falcon, maybe the bald eagle there. Not only called falconer, that's bald eagle, man. Maybe the bald eagle bit his knob off.
No. Let's be real fair to this guy. He doesn't have a nub that he thinks is long enough, so he added an extension. But I just want to know more about what that is, because I saw him laying in the bed in the hospital, and it's the photo that he published on, or wherever he published it, and it's all over X. His penis is blurred out, but you can see how it's maybe been extended. I don't know what that material was that they used to extend it. That's my question. Like, what is it? Because you don't glue plastic on your dick and like make that the extension. That's not an option. So did they take parts from his body?
Man, Google has nothing on the actual prosthetic.
I should have sent you Larry's piece that he sent me.
I saw the blur out photo and everything.
Yeah. I don't know why you would fire a guy for that. It's a medical procedure. He's proud of it.
Well, I mean, if he showed his prosthetic dick on social media, maybe Lazio doesn't want to be connected to that. I mean,
yeah,
they already have the nationalistic aspect behind Lazio. They don't want to have penile photos.
PMR says
they don't want dick pics.
PMR says Derek looking at penis extensions. Do you watch this show, dude? Because like, I don't really care at this point. I don't know if you noticed. I do not care. I'm not interested. So for me,
and penises, that's cool.
No, and like, what's the point of having a larger penis, right? It's to attract mates or to satisfy your mate. I am not interested in a mate, number one, so that's easy. Number two, never had a problem with that as long as I can get it there, right? I can't always get it there because I'm old, right? So that's one of the issues when you get older. You're like, yeah, you know, I'm not always that excited. So, you know, but no, it's not that's not a thing, right? So I hope this guy's happy. I don't know why he got fired for this.
Well, again, if he's showing it off on the twits, you got to second guess yourself there. Maybe the issue is that again, Lazio doesn't want somebody who they're hiring to show their prosthetic dick pics around.
I mean, they got dick pics all over Italy. Go tour it. They're fucking countless fucking statues of naked men in like the center of town in pools pissing out of their dicks into the fucking fountain. Like, are we really worried about this guy having a dick pic on after his surgery? Like, to me, that seems.
There you go, Derek. Here's the video of him coming out of surgery.
Whatever. Yeah. I mean, seriously. Get out of his way.
Just imagine. You really could, you know, put it over your shoulder, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's get that off.
All right, brother. Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting the dick size conversation again because I don't think it's nice for anybody to come on here and brag about their dick size and also say, like, your dick's too small. Listen, guys, you're born with what you got. Do with what you have. And if you want to get prostate surgery, go do it. If that's like logistically possible and you've done your research and make sure you don't come out with some weird shit. Like, you don't want to do that. But then always remember, in the end, listen, I've overheard conversations over my many years in music, talking to women, blah, blah, blah. Not just even overheard, just heard it. Heard women talk about, like, 6 inches, that's about right. 8 inches, holy shit, that's too big. That's too big for me. I can't handle 8 inches. So just work with what you got.
There's a TikTok video of a girl. It's like, people are talking about 10 inches. Do you really know how big 10 inches? And she has a tape measure and she pulls it out. Where is that gonna go in me? You know, maybe more like this. And she's showing him somewhere between like 6 to 4 inches roughly. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's acceptable. This is painful. Where the fuck is this gonna go? No.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So like I said, just do what you can with what you got. Or, you know, if you want to fix it, there are other ways to do that. But anyhow, I mean, I'm not an expert on it, so do what you got to do. All right, Derek went mad after.
You're an expert on big dicks? Sorry to hear that, Derek.
I'm not an expert on small ones. Damn it, Brett, you ruined this.
Derek went mad after Hub asked for ID. Ruined fun.
What's Hub?
The Hub. The P-Hub.
What P-Hub?
Corn Hub.
I still don't know what you're talking about. Oh.
Pornhub.
Oh. Ruined fun. No, I found other sites. I'm good.
There are plenty of sites out there
that are unblocked. Yeah, I found them. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. All good in the hood. Hey, fuck the ones they can't figure out.
You just have to go on Twitter. Go on Twitter, find the threads of like big booty thread here, and I guarantee you're gonna find somewhere down that line an hour-long video of something you can watch for free. That's a quick and easy right there, guys.
And if you're not quite sure how to get that done, contact Brett on Twitter.
I will direct you in those posts. I start half of them.
I did my own research, but of course, if you're unsure about how to fulfill those those fucking needs, please feel free to contact Brett. He
Yeah.
will point you in the right direction.
I'll point you in the right direction.
We'll point you in the right direction. All right. What else we got, Brett? This show's going on and on. I just don't know. When is it going to end?
On and on, just like that Lazio Falconer's penis, apparently.
Yes. All right. Poor guy. Shouldn't have got fired.
We have some departures from the U.S. men's national team camp.
Hail Mary.
Jalen Neal, which sucks. John Tolkien, which is expected.
Yep.
Here's the breakdown, and they break it down in the article. But let's just, American Ultra Talks breaks it down nicely for us. Why would we even pull up the article?
Listen, American Ultra Works, this is a place when they post shit, they're fucking reliable. This isn't horse shit. They fucking do their research. Okay?
Well, I mean, research isn't clicking the details and clicking the article and reading the article.
Yeah, but they probably check into it to make sure it's not bullshit.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, U.S. Soccer flat out stated that Jesus Ferreira has a knock and he's going to go back to Seattle to work it out. Same thing with Jalen Neal.
He is a knock. Really? Yeah. He is a knock. He's got to return to full fitness because he pulled his left testicle. Seriously? Really? All right.
I think Jesus Pereira was scared that his legacy of Jack Sparrow, Pirate of the Caribbean.
They're not playing. You're not playing any island nations. That's
it's fair. That's a good point. Yeah, maybe that's why he's like, no island nations. I'm out. Peace, bro.
Yep.
But Jalen Neal apparently has a minor issue that he's heading back to Montreal to rehab during preseason.
Mm-hmm.
And Tolkien is heading off to Germany to sign, which he did already. So that was predicted.
Yeah, I guess the question is, are they going to replace any of these guys? My answer is probably not.
Well, I mean, as of the 15th, they said they'll release that information within the next couple of days. So if it's not out tomorrow on Friday, then definitely not. Yeah, we have a game on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So what this tells us is Brian White's going to play. We got Walker Zimmerman next to Tim Ream.
Yep.
And I have no idea who our backup left back is.
Yeah, I can't off the top of my head remember that. But
hold on, let's just verify here.
Dwan Jones.
Yeah, it should be Dwan Jones.
Yeah, that'd be
Jack
my
Moore
first
be out
pick.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, Dwan Jones. Are we covering that live? Are we calling that game?
I have to check with my scheduler.
Okay.
Verify there are no plans already for Saturday. But yes, as of right now, guys, and Derek, as long as you're okay with it, because I imagine your social life on Saturday.
I gotta check with my pimp.
Yeah, there you go. That means you don't want to upset the pimp, man. Don't upset your pimp.
No, that bitch wants his money.
So, assuming that my schedule doesn't fuck everything up, we're gonna do it live.
Okay, mine's fine.
Yeah,
I got nowhere to go. I'm just here jerking off all the time.
I got nowhere else to go. Yeah,
I got nowhere else. It was that's Officer and a Gentleman.
Yeah.
See, I know some of my movie references.
There you go, Derek. Well done. Well done.
I know. I deserve a pat in the back for that. All right. Not really. Okay. Everyone should know that quote. I got nowhere else to go.
Let me pull this up so we can just read the whole quote. Here's JT Batson talking. I'm assuming at the coaching convention. Where else would this have been?
Probably.
Has they already done pressers for the upcoming games?
No, it was at the Porn Awards.
Oh, the Dickies.
The Dickies, yeah.
Or Woodies. Is it Woodies?
They have both.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking to an audience of porn addicted fans, he says, "Hey, we want to play in the biggest stadiums possible, in front of the most people possible. Full stop."
Let me fix this for you.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
We want to play in the biggest stadiums possible, baby. In front of the most people possible. And we want it filmed. Full stop.
Full stop.
Our national team events should be huge events.
Huge. I believe it's pronounced.
They should be parties. Yeah, baby.
Where you put your keys into a pitcher and you go draw out another key. Is that the type of party he's talking about?
Yeah, baby.
What up?
They should be something that everybody looks forward to. Small dick, medium, or large. Quote.
And you know what? I think at the parties, the life of the party, they're going to bring in that falconer.
The falconer is welcome. He's welcome because he's got an extension, baby.
Assuming he's fully recovered. I mean, I have no idea how long of a recovery that takes.
Because it's not about just the biggest stadiums. We want the biggest players. All right. So here we go. Yeah, I totally get the criticism of this bullshit. I really do.
Yeah.
You want to party? Baby. Lower ticket prices. That means the pimp gets less money. Stop fleecing the diehards for every penny they own and make it an affordable hookup so casuals and new fans have the chance to fall in love and get laid
with each other.
Team.
Yeah, exactly.
And get laid with this team. You need to romance the stone. You need to get people interested in this team. And if you're charging a bunch of bullshit prices, if you're the pimp that is JT Batson, you need to lower the prices on the prostitute. You just do.
So let's assume they schedule a game, they play in the Rose Bowl. Big stadium.
Big.
And they make some of the higher up seat sections like $10. Do you think the diehards who are going to go watch the U.S. game are going to be like, well, instead of spending $50 to sit down lower, I'm going to spend $10 to go and I'll sit up higher?
Yeah.
Some might.
No.
I mean, some might, but most of them won't.
No.
So who are you going to draw those $10 tickets?
New fans, interesting people who are, they've had their tip of their dick tickled and they're kind of interested, but maybe they want to tip their nuts in it before getting fully, engulfed. So
Neymar says, there's a fire there currently. It's fair. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
True. But I'm saying, as a family man myself, if I had the opportunity and U.S. men's national team are playing down the street from me, and I'm looking at those tickets going, well, I can't take my family there at $50 a pop, $35 a pop. I mean, that's outrageous. I got to pay for parking. I got to pay. They're going to want food and snacks and drinks. I mean, I'm going to take a second mortgage out of my house.
Right.
So if there's some $10 tickets, I'm looking at I'll spend $40 to go watch the U.S. play. I'll do that absolutely.
If you're running a bordello in Nevada, and you're going to pretend that you have the best bordello, and you're charging best bordello prices, people are going to find that shit out. And by the way, only a certain percentage of the people can afford to pay those bordello prices, right? And then when they get there, they're like, well, your bordello's really kind of just still developing. It's not really great. Like some of them are not really the best. So what you want to do generally is, if you really want people to get interested in what you got, is be honest about what you got and price it at honest prices so people can come in, experience it, and go, listen, I paid for the medium bordello and I got the medium bordello and I got what I paid for. And other people who were just kind of curious about it are going, well, I'm just curious, but I can afford it, so I'm going to go give it a try, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what you want to do. You don't want to make your bordello seem like you got all of the best and highest rated porn stars out there. You want to say, listen, I realize we don't have that, and our product isn't 100% great, and it's got faults, and we got a new manager who's still working some shit out. So we're going to try to attract as many eyeballs as possible to this. So, I mean, listen, it's all about marketing in the end. If you want to go high end, go ahead. But when you go high end, you're going to disappoint a lot of curious and interested people. And you're going to scare some people off who might be diehard fans, but just don't have that kind of cash laying around when they got 3 kids, a mortgage, etc. And I'm not saying that husbands with 3 kids and a mortgage should go to a bordello. That was just a metaphor. But you get the point.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's it. So he's just wrong. He'll have to figure it out. They'll have to figure out a real balance. Somebody else did like a comparison of 1998 tickets with interest.
I think it was Adam. Adam did that.
I think it was Adam. And he's like, so with interest, tickets from 1998 games would be $38 a seat right now. But they're not $38 a seat. But if you take them out to 98, they were $18 a seat. Now they should be 38 based on interest. And they're not. They're 108.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, okay. Well, you keep doing that bourgeois bullshit, U.S. Soccer. I wish you the best. Don't try to reach the common fan.
Concur. Okay. Well, I can't show these both things at the same time. So we're just going to bounce back and forth here. So I figured with the game just around the corner, Derek, why don't we look at this and pick out who we possibly think is going to start in Poach's 11? It's going to be tough because these aren't regulars by any means. So, I mean, he doesn't have anything to really go on outside of the couple days of training that he's had.
Yeah.
Or about a week, I guess, at this point. But let's go over who we think. So we got what Venezuela this Saturday. Is that accurate?
Yeah. So I think the goalkeeper is easy. I think it's Schulte.
I too think it's Schulte. Go away.
And we're going with Poach's. This is the offensive setting. So it's a 3-2-4-1. You could call it something else if you want. I mean, you could call it a 3-2-2-3 if you want to, because you could, honestly, the way it plays. But up top, I think you got Brian White, right? I don't know who else we're going to put up there. We got no Ferreira.
Oh, my fucking God.
Commercial. There might not be a Brian White. Oh, there we go.
So, different photo of him. Okay, sure.
All right. Center backs.
Just so you have a preference or a reference here.
Yeah.
I mean, I mentioned with Neil's omission at this point, I'm saying Zimmerman and Ream. And
I think that's probably
a third
true.
option there.
Yeah, I think it's Zimmerman and Ream. I don't think it's Robinson.
You don't think it's?
I don't think so.
Playing the Scally role? Who's gonna play the Scally role?
3 in the back. So
yeah,
Ream, Zimmerman, Robinson. Yeah, that's fair. Ream on the left. Zimmerman in the middle, Robinson out right. Fumar says 99% chance I don't watch this bullshit. I don't blame you if you don't.
All right, so we're looking at left back / midfield 6 in our midfields.
2 holding 6s.
All right, so or a potential defender in that 6, by the way.
Yeah, I don't see that. I see it being Jack McGlynn.
McGlynn, definitely, yes.
And Kermashi, more than likely.
Does he play the holding?
He'll play an 8.
I guess he'll play that box to box, the McKinney role.
Yeah, McGlynn will hold.
That's fair.
I mean, I'm just guessing. We're all guessing, right?
No, I know.
But there's a good chance we're going to be 99% correct. because we usually are. But hey, we could have an off night. We haven't had one for a long time. I can't even remember the last time we got this wrong. Like, just so fucking wrong. It was ridiculous.
Okay, so we're looking for our top 4 now.
I think Luna is going to be one of those CAMs. One of those 10s.
Okay.
I would hope.
Yeah.
I think.
Do you think Matko is going to start?
I think Milcevic might be one of those two. Yes. He'll be one of the 10s, even though he can play a box-to-box as well. He really can. So don't be surprised if we see Milcevic drop back to one of the 8s. I wouldn't be.
Here. Look at this, Milcevic. What's his club name? He's Knob.
He's not anymore, but
Knob.
We'll take it.
That's great.
But don't be surprised to see maybe Milcevic and Kramashi switch places there. I wouldn't be shocked because Milcevic is a warrior. But somebody's got to play that 8 role in that. We can't have the 2 10s. You got to have an 8 and a 6. So somebody's going to have to do the 8. So that might mix around, but I think we're close.
So who's playing out wide? We got Guti, we got Clark, we got Indiana.
Do you think that Emeka might be called on to play out wide? I think he might.
I have no idea. Can't tell you. I did not watch enough Real Salt Lake matches to really know this player at all.
I really don't think we have an abundance of wide players here. Not a lot. So I think maybe Patrick.
I said, you have Indiana, you have Clark, you have Guti, who are wides. Diego could play wide.
I mean,
we know Shaq Moore's presence in the attack, so he could play wide.
No, he's not going to play wide. I really don't. I mean, this is where it gets really difficult. Certainly, Vasilev could play out wide. I know.
Because of 6.
We're trying to figure out who's going to play out wide. Is it Patrick? I think so for Charlotte. I think he's going to be one of the guys out wide. Caden Clark can do it too. My only thing is, where's Brian Gutierrez? I think he should be playing too. Like, could he can play out wide? You know,
he played left wing for Chicago most of the season because Shaqiri was still in town.
Let's put Gutierrez out there.
I'm cool. I'm obviously cool with Guti playing out wide.
I mean, this is such a fucking guessing game. This is a fucking total guessing game. And if we get like 80% of this right, I'm going to be fucking laughing.
So we need Patrick, Indiana, or Clark out wide, right.
I'm going to put Caden Clark out there. He had a better season than Vasilev.
Let's say, where does Clark play for Montreal? Left or right?
That's a really good question.
Because I mean, I know in his
since I watched the whole 2 games the whole season, it's not really fair to me to say.
I know Clark in his youth always played out left.
He played out right too for Red Bulls. Right wing.
Oh, well, okay, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. Again, at this point, I mean, it's all going to come down to who's performing in camp. We don't know. I mean, we can sit here and say we think we're pretty safe assuming Luna. We're pretty safe or assuming Matko, because I feel like if he's gonna bring him down with no,
he's gonna play him.
Previous call, he's gonna play him. Yeah. I would like to think Guti would start out left, but I mean, who knows? Maybe Indiana came in and just outright dominated camp.
I doubt that.
I'm just saying.
But
I'm trying to be level-headed here a little bit.
It could happen. I'm just saying I doubt it. I think Gutierrez is just a better player right now. So I'm going to go with Caden Clark outright.
Okay. Well, I mean, again, it's hit and miss. So, I mean, whatever we want to
do.
Oh
my God, it's so hit and miss.
We're gonna pick. Like, he could play out there, and he might, but he might not start this match. But
this is the craziest predictions we have to make, which is January camp. Last January we got 9 out of 11 right.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. If we get 9 out of 11 right this time,
well,
send us a check.
Unless something crazy goes, I think Schulte, I think Zimmerman and Ream. I think those are 3 guarantees. I'm sure Robinson's a guarantee. I'm going to flat out say it. Robinson's a guarantee. So the back 4, I think we have right.
Yeah.
I think McGlynn starts, and I think Luna starts, and I think White starts.
I think the question becomes, as Colin brings up, how defensive is he going to play? Because if you want some defense, one of those wingers, Clark or whomever, that drops back into that 5 in his system might need to be a defender. So,
what'll end up happening?
Juwan Jones,
Guti or Clark would get washed away. You'd bring in somebody like Shaq Moore, and then Luna would.
No, Juwan Jones.
Juwan Jones. I'll be happy with Juwan Jones. Yes.
Fuck Shaq Moore. Yeah.
And then Luna will probably push out wide, one of the wides, quote unquote wides. The only reason we're going with the 3-2. I swear to God. The 3-2-4-1 is this is our attack formation.
On offense only.
Yeah. So on defense, again, I mean, Clark's going to have to get back.
Yes.
And play that Moose.
So we're Gucci.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, Kramashi's, I don't know who would act as the Jedi in this role.
We don't have one.
Exactly. So
we don't have one.
This would be the lineup we have right now is not the same type of lineup we had last camp.
Colin says Shaq Moore starting according to Tim Howard. Dude, Tim Howard said a lot of bullshit lately, so I'm not buying it.
Have they done any pressers recently? Let me take a look here real quick. Because the pressers are dead giveaways. Who is it? JRE or is it JER?
JER? I don't think there have been any.
The JR Sports?
JRE Sports?
Let's see here. Drake Calendar talks prior to the friendly against Venezuela. That'd be rough.
He's not playing.
Kermashi talks.
He might.
Zimmerman and McGlynn.
Maybe. Both will play.
That's the last one. That's the last of the pressers.
Yeah. Okay. We don't know shit. So,
well, and we have tomorrow. So there's gonna be. I guarantee there's gonna be some tomorrow.
I mean, if this happened, what we have on here, I mean, I wouldn't be disturbed by it. And a lot of people don't know that Caden Clark had a really amazing season at Montreal. Like a comeback season, like a rebirth, right, of his career. Because his career was in the shit can. And he came back and had a great season for Montreal. Scored a bunch of goals, got some assists. So we'll see. Drake's out injured. So, well, fuck him. We didn't think he was going to start anyhow. So there you go.
Here's where Colin went. He went with Stephen. He went with the standard 4-3-3.
It looks like he went with a standard formation where we went with what Poach has been doing so far.
And to Colin's point, we may be completely off. Poach might look at this roster and say, we're going to do something different.
Yeah, he could.
It's always possible.
He could say, we're doing a 4-2-3-1. He could say, we're doing a 4-3-3 based on what he has. Yeah. So we won't know. We just decided to do this based on the way Poach has been playing on offense so far. We could be wrong. It's a crapshoot. It's a total crapshoot.
We could sit here and say, well, we think Schulte's going to start. But who knows? Maybe Stefan did show up in the camp and he's performing well. And we talked about how Poach remembers Stefan from his Man City days, and maybe that's enough. I don't know.
Yep, indeed.
So anything's possible.
All right. I think we're done.
That's all, folks.
That is all, folks. Thank you for all the 262 of you who did show up tonight. We do appreciate it. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma. Please go ahead and, add a bullshit comment somewhere below. Start a conversation because it does help. By the way, we're being fucked currently by YouTube because apparently we used somebody else's, some stupid clip we weren't supposed to use. And we got nicked for that. And now, our fucking shit's been sent down the ladder. So it's not coming up. Even for people who are subscribed to us are not getting our fucking, our show popping up on their feed anymore.
Basically, unless you look at the subscription feed, you'll see us. But if you look at just your home feed, we're getting hosed because our monetization is limited, and YouTube does not advertise channels that won't make the money.
And yeah, we had a bunch of pricks come after us for using their fucking 6-second clips. So that's been hurting us. Bullshit shit. So we're going to have to be extra careful even using clips anymore because people claim that our 6-second clip that we use, that was the whole basis of our show. Our fucking 2-hour show. Really? What a bunch of fucking cocksuckers. So yeah, we're getting hit. We're getting hit right now. Hard.
It's one of those situations where we're in a unique situation compared to other content creators where our content is very time sensitive.
Yes.
So we could sit there and every single claim that comes our way, we could sit there and challenge them.
We could.
But during that time period, it's not posted at all. They unlist it.
Yeah.
While it's being challenged. And that could take a month. The problem is this show. Just imagine this show.
This show is going irrelevant for a month. 3 days later.
In February, on Valentine's Day, when you're with your sweetheart, all of a sudden this show pops back up and we're talking about Camp Cupcake.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't make any sense. So we just go and snip it out, which sucks because we have to take the time to do so. And during that time period, again, it's unlisted because it's copyrighted. So it's rough.
It's rough. It's so rough that I called YouTube. I said, can you please let me know when you're going to show up so I can at least bend over and lube my asshole up before you fuck me in it? Because that's what YouTube has been doing to us recently. Yeah. Every tiny little fucking clip, everything, they're just fucking piling it on. Every asshole in fucking North Hollywood, hope the other people on fire are good. But I'm just saying, everybody's coming after us with fucking claims for every tiny clip we play, which is so fucking funny. But I don't know what to do about it at this point. But it's killing our reach. It's killing our outreach. We were at 2.5, almost 3,000 views a show. Now we're down to 1.4 because our show just simply isn't going out. Even people who are subscribed to us are not getting our fucking show in their feed. I know because they tell me. So.
We finally hit a neutral take on our subs, where we over the last 28 days, Derek and I have been looking at it. We're like, oh man, for like last week it's been like -4, -6, -2, and then now we're finally at 0, where it's just it's neither positive nor negative.
Yeah, I don't.
The reach is just absolutely killing us.
Our unsubscribers were always minimal compared to our subscribers, which is fucking that's the way it's always been. We've always just increased. Always increased. And then suddenly, nope, we're decreasing. Why? What happened? I don't know. We've always been the same. It's not like our show changed. It's like our reach has just been killed off because of a fucking bunch of false claims, basically.
It's just it boggles my mind because from the last recorded video that Derek posted actually was just a snippet from one of our recent live streams. And inside there, obviously, we're still using the same language we're using on every show, and yet we're still monetized for that segment.
That show's fine. Yeah.
How that survived, I have no idea. Whatever. It is what it is. We'll figure something out.
It's just it's irritating. We don't know what to do about it. Not sure how to fix the algorithm or whatever. I'm sure
Saul likes to play our show while he's sleeping. So
that's really nice, Saul. Thank you.
Some unique dreams that come up from listening to us as you fall asleep.
Sure, you got some interesting dreams coming up there. Brian says also more guests. Listen, here's the thing with the guests. We have tacked on because we love tack and we vibe with tack. We vibe with Pete. We will be having guests back on. In fact, we're going to have Alexi back on, my guess. We'll probably even have, but here's the thing. If we have guests on that you don't like, I think that'll be something we're going to do. Something that I'm thinking about. We'll have Max Bardos back on. You guys don't like him, but we like him personally as a person. And there's some other guests. Who's the the journalist we just made up with?
Doug McIntyre.
Doug. Very good chance we're going to have Doug McIntyre. And if we have him on, we're going to probably have some hard questions for him. So we will have more guests. I don't think the guests are the problem right now. Even without guests, our show was growing on a regular basis up until just recently when our last two shows got fucking totally demonetized and hammered by YouTube. So, yeah. I don't know what to do about that.
Ryan DeMarco says, good point. Where the hell has Meg been? Meg is still working on getting her internet in check.
Yes. Her internet's awful. It's awful. All right. So anyhow, we'll think about more guests. But if we bring Wallace back on, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it with people we have chemistry with. Like Adam certainly is gonna be back on our show. Adam's great. There are people we do have good chemistry with, but they're not all like big name bangers. But I don't think big name bangers always do it. I think our show with Pete and Tact far outreached in scope and in views when we have them on than Lawless or Ronaldo.
Those shows are right up there, pretty close to each other.
It's pretty crazy.
I would say as far as growth on our channel is concerned, I think when we have Tact and Pete on, I think our growth, we see more growth than when we did with Lawless. So we saw growth with Lawless and Ronaldo too. But,
yeah. Also, you guys can help us. Like, get the fucking word out if you can. If you can't, we'd expect you to fucking spread the word about our show. That's not your fucking job.
No.
You got jobs. You got other things to do. But if you have friends that love soccer, do it. Like,
yeah. I'd be fine with having Jake on.
He's not.
He's not going to come on. But
no way. We had Jake on before.
My standpoint is I have no problem with having anybody on the show. It's like if we have beef with somebody, I'm cool. Just hey, come on our show. We'll talk it out.
We have had beef with people. Yeah. They've come on our shows. So
yeah, I don't know. It's just
not like real beef.
Obviously, it's kind of funny because we got called out and everything like that. Like, I'll have him on here. LOL. And we're like, I'll be fine with having Jake on here. I have no problems. I mean, we'll question him on some things and push back. I don't think he'll want that. But
no. Well, I don't think Jake's a big winner. I don't think that's going to bring in a lot of viewers. So I don't think that's what we
We
want.
just got to broadcast it as a fight. It's going to be the Tyson versus Jake Paul situation. Except for it to be Derek versus Jake.
I think I would love to have Doug McIntyre on to talk about the mainstream media and how they cover the sport. And I want to talk to him about Jeff Carlisle's article about blackmail. I want to talk to people like that who can say, because we had Max Brennis on, and I think I remember bringing up the Jeff Carlisle article, and he's like, really? I mean, he didn't fix that? He didn't fix it up? Like, I don't remember if it was Max, but like somebody said that. Maybe it was off camera, so I shouldn't have said that. But no, he didn't fix it. And Jeff Carlisle ain't coming on this show. There's no way that Jeff Carlisle will ever have a conversation with the average fan. Period. End of fucking story. So, listen.
We'll get a DM from him tomorrow. Derek's nagging him right now. No chance he's ever going to do it. He thinks he's up here. We're down here.
We would love to have Herc. Our problem with Herc is that his show is on the exact same time our show's on.
We can get Seb on now, at least.
Yeah, Seb. Yeah, that's true. We should probably reach out. I love Seb. I love his angsty, angry, old man, sort of.
Man, we got Seb on the show, man. It'd be an entire show of.
He would argue with us.
What happened with Nelson Rodriguez? What happened in that entire interview? Spill the beans.
Oh, that would be great.
Dude,
Let's do it.
No chance.
I'm going to reach out to some of my contacts and see if we can get. I would love to have Seb on because Seb's like no bullshit. No bullshit. Even if he's wrong, he's going to give it to you. And he's usually not that far off from the truth. So it'll be fun to have him on here. So
Mark
yes,
says, do a recorded show with Herc, and that's we've said that many times. If we ever did it, if we're ever able to do a show with Herc, it's got to be recorded at that point.
Yeah, we've talked. It's been out there. Like that's not something we haven't tried. Just so far, it hasn't. It's not like Herc doesn't like us and doesn't want to come on the show. That's not the case. His friends are our friends. He's friends with Pete. He's friends with Tact, mostly with Tact. So, like, we could do that. We just haven't been able to work it out yet. And I'll be honest, it's on me. I haven't done, like, the outreach I did with Lawless and the outreach I did with Ronaldo on an individual basis in the same way. So, that's kind of on me. And I'll try to fix that. All right, guys.
Something we always talk about with having guests on is that there's always to some degree, the chemistry of the show does take a hit.
Yeah.
So one of us, either Derek or I, become kind of a third wheel to an extent because there's always somebody asking the questions, and obviously with a guest on, we want to hear what their answers are. So it's not quite the same back and forth chemistry that we have with a regular show, but so that's why we don't want to overflow ourselves with guests. Because we don't want to kill the chemistry.
Who's Jason Davis's sidekick on his show? I can't remember his name. Like, we really, honestly, I had a great discussion with this guy, and I thought we were going to have him on the show. And he's like, I can't do an hour. I got nothing. I can't do an hour. I'm like, you can't do an hour? Believe me, you can do an hour with us. And he's like, nah, I can't. I don't know how to do it. Like, you do an hour with Jason Davis on the weekly.
Jared DuBois?
Jared. And I was like really disappointed with that because I think Jared would have been a great guest on the show. But he's like, I can do maybe I got 30 minutes of material. I'm like, you got more than 30.
You just gotta listen to what the other person says and run off of it. Here's the thing. In that type of situation, nobody Derek, you were in the same boat when we first started live streaming. You're like, because I was like, man, I watch live streams of people doing this like 4 to 6 hours, and you're like, dude, there's no chance in hell I'm ever going to last more than an hour doing this. Yeah. And then here we are, 3 hours and 10 minutes in.
Yeah, because we're idiots. All right. On that note, we love you all. We really do. We do. Thank you for all 332 of you that showed up tonight at one point. We love you all. We do appreciate all of your support. We're going to continue to do this. We'll be here Saturday live, apparently, for the game. We'll be calling it live. I don't know if Tack will be. I haven't heard that he's doing it. But we will be here, and we'll call it live for what it is. And, of course, we're just idiots. So we're going to call it like crazy, the way we always do. So stick with us. Give your stepsister a kiss on the cheek. Be respectful, especially in front of the rest of the family. And we'll be back on Monday and, well, Saturday and Monday. We'll see you then. Good night.
That hurt.
I want to play in Europe. What the hell does that mean, right? Because Europe could be Latvia, Luxembourg.
No one's talking about Latvia or Luxembourg, dumbass.
So you don't want to just shove it in there. Start with the smaller finger, especially if this is the first time. Start with the smaller finger and go slow.
I mean, there's a lot of things that need to change.
Honey, eating ass, it is the best thing that you can do for your man.
I want people to realize I'm just human. I'm just human, and I make mistakes.
So this guy, Derek, wants to know, is putting your tongue in an ass really the thing to do?
Yeah, it feels really good.
Yeah, it's a weird one, I think.
And I know you want me to touch your